Louisiana. Tonight's fights are sanctioned by the Louisiana State Boxing and Wrestling Commission. And now, here at Bellator 31, brought to you by Everlast and FullTiltPoker.net. Learn, chat, and play with the pros. We begin with a special feature, 3 5-minute rounds at a catch weight of 165 pounds. And now introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He wears the black at 5'11", weighing in at 165 pounds even. With a boxing background, the undefeated professional comes in at 2-0 with 1 victory by knockout, 1 by way of submission. Representing Gulf Coast MMA and Dixon's Dungeon from Biloxi, Mississippi, Scott Stapp. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the blue corner. He wears the yellow trimmed in black at 5'8", weighing in at 164.5 pounds. The former Division I All-American wrestler, as a professional, also stands undefeated at 3-0 with 2 victories by knockout, 1 by way of submission. Representing Extreme Couture by way of High Ridge, Missouri, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, presenting Michael Chandler. And your referee for this contest, Jason Herzog.
From L'Auberge du Lac Casino Resort in Lake Charles, Louisiana, we are now set for a Bellator special feature fight at the catchweight of 165 pounds. Scott Stapp versus Michael Chandler.
Michael Chandler, a talented wrestler from a great camp, Extreme Couture. Let's see what Scott Stapp brings to the cage.
This fight is under the unified rules of combat, so elbows to the head are allowed, both standing and on the ground. Round number 1, Stapp in the black trunks.
Oh, good right hand!
Yellow and black trunks.
Chandler said he wanted to test his stand-up early, and he does. That was a good right hand.
Jason Herzog, the referee, taking a really close look at this ground and pound from the former Missouri University Tiger, Scott Stapp.
You see Stapp trying to pull him down into his guard, but Chandler keeping his posture up, still trying to rain down that ground and pound.
Chandler was an NCAA Division I Wrestling All-American his senior year at MU.
Doing a little guard pass there into half guard, now trying to grapple a bit.
Stapp in the bottom position, working out of open half guard. He's a lieutenant in the United States Air Force.
Now you see Chandler was trying to work his arm underneath for an arm triangle, wisely set up, now going back to the ground and pound.
That's a big right hand. Chandler letting go with the shots. Again, looking to pass.
Now this is not where Scott Stapp wants to be for a lot of reasons. Never want to be underneath against a wrestler like Michael Chandler. Great positioning, great base, really hard to get him off you.
Half guard still held by Stapp. He's been on his back virtually the entire fight thus far. Caught immediately by Chandler just after the opening bell.
Almost in full mount, needs to get over that knee, and there he is, full mount.
Full mount achieved by Michael Chandler. Reverse hammer fist there.
Chandler's getting a little out of position here, needs to turn back, and that's exactly what he does.
Hooking the leg and letting go with the right hand. Another right hand, then another. That's a hard shot. Those are big shots, Jimmy. Stapp just covering up.
I think he's going to unload. I think he's going to look for the stoppage right here.
I'm going to stop it.
You hear Herzog say he's going to stop it. Scott Stapp needs to do something here.
Fighter, you got to go.
Unanswered shots.
That's it. That's it.
There's the stoppage. First round TKO win in his Bellator debut for Michael Chandler.
Oh, that's a wicked cut under the eye of Scott Stapp. Beautiful job by Michael Chandler. That's a talented kid. Don't go in thinking he's just a wrestler. That was a good right hand and excellent ground and pound. Good instincts. He knew when to punch. He knew when to use his jiu-jitsu. That's a good training camp, Sean. Let's see if we can get a look at that finish there. I think he tried a little jiu-jitsu, got a little frustrated that it wasn't working, went back to the ground and pound, and here's the result. Big right hands, good posture, getting good distance. Scott Stapp just not able to defend himself. Good job by Jason Herzog right here. Those right hands over the top, right on the side of the head, but good posturing, good distance. It didn't go too crazy, still using his left arm to hold on to Scott Stapp. Good job, very efficient ground and pound. That's what I like, that's what you want to see in a young up-and-coming prospect.
157 into round number 1. Referee Jason Herzog waves a halt to this contest due to strikes. The winner by TKO and still undefeated, Michael Chandler.
Bellator special feature fight at the catchweight of 165 pounds. Chris Page versus Michael Chandler.
Michael Chandler looking so impressive in his Bellator debut 2 weeks ago, looking to follow up tonight.
The bell in round number 1. Page in the black trunks, Chandler with the quick shoot in the white trunks.
No surprise there. Page came in way too tall. You know Chandler's looking for the takedown, and he gets it.
Page looking for the armbar. Mike England is the referee.
Page trying to stay active with his guard.
Page said that he wanted to fight from this position on his back and work for submissions.
That's a dangerous place to be. Chandler has excellent ground and pound. We saw that last time.
Page had a lot to say, very quotable in his fighter meeting. He said that Chandler is a Brock Lesnar mini-me. I said, what do you mean by that? He said he's got 2 things, a takedown and ground and pound. That's it.
Well, those 2 things lead to victory. What else do you need? That's the important part.
His quote also was, the only way I'll lose this fight is if I trip and fall on my way to the cage.
Well, Chandler now going for the guillotine. He's going hard for it.
That's a tight guillotine. Tears the tap. No trip and fall, but a guillotine victory for Michael Chandler just like that.
He's fallen now in the middle of the cage. Held on a little too long with that guillotine.
Michael Chandler, an NCAA Division I Wrestling All-American at the University of Missouri, now 5-0 in his rapidly emerging MMA career.
Wow, gotta respect those submission skills. Thought he was just a wrestler, just had ground and pound. He was wrong. He has submissions as well. See if we can take a look at that. Page very disappointed, but I think he underestimated Chandler's skills. You see it here, cinched up the guillotine. What I like is he didn't pull guard, he didn't lose position, stood right up, and look at the power of Chandler lifting him off the ground. That is strength, my friend. Pulled him off the ground, good technique. The right fist, you see how far it is up past his shoulder? That is strength, that is technique. Put those together and you got a submission every time. And Page so upset, but he just fell to the better fighter tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the tap comes at 57 seconds into round number 1 via a guillotine. The winner by submission and still undefeated, Missouri's own Michael Chandler.
Bellator lightweight tournament quarterfinal number 1. Marcin held versus Michael Chandler. Jimmy, here's our tale of the tape.
You see here, Marcin held only 19 years old, but 10-1, has more than twice as many fights as Michael Chandler. Don't let that age fool you.
Jimmy's Inner Circle is presented by the new movie, The Lincoln Lawyer, starring Matthew McConaughey, in theaters everywhere, March 18th.
Well, slow the runaway train. Chandler is a Division I All-American wrestler who has looked dominant so far in Bellator. Held needs to slow the pace and make the fight about technique to be successful. He who strikes first. Both consider striking to be the other guy's weakness, considering their relative inexperience in kickboxing. That may be the difference maker. Will the streak continue? Every time we have had a standout wrestler in a Bellator division, they have won the title. Is it Michael Chandler's turn?
We now send it inside the Bellator cage to Michael Williams.
Bellator Fighting Championships on MTV2 from the Shreveport Municipal Auditorium. Tonight presents the quarterfinal round of the lightweight tournament, brought to you by the Lincoln Lawyer, starring Matthew McConaughey, in theaters everywhere, March 18th. And now inside the cage, set for 3 5-minute rounds, introducing first out of the red corner at 5'9", weighing in at 156 pounds even, with a professional record of 10 wins against a single defeat, hailing from Czech, Poland, introducing Marcin Held. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the blue corner at 5'8", weighing in at 155 1/4 pounds. Undefeated as a professional at 5-0, hailing from Las Vegas, Nevada, Michael Chandler. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge of the action, Gary Copeland.
The rules Rickels in the quarterfinal round of Bellator Fighting Championships. All fights consist of 3 5-minute rounds. Elbows to the head are not allowed, neither standing nor on the ground, and there is no kicking or kneeing the head of a grounded opponent.
You ready, Blue? Let's fight.
Round number 1. Marcin held in the white trunks, Michael Chandler in the blue trunks. Gary Copeland is the referee. Our Bellator clock is presented by PSP. Step your game up. PSP now just 129.
Chandler coming in very aggressively, not surprisingly going for the takedown.
This our
Now rolling for a leg lock.
This our opening lightweight tournament quarterfinal. 2 young fighters. Held, as we mentioned, is 19 years old. Chandler, 5 years older at 24.
Held's trying to straighten out that leg, going hard for the knee bar. He might have it.
Going for the knee bar. Chandler said the only way he can conceivably lose is by a leg lock.
That is a straight lock. He is putting everything behind it, but Chandler just is not tapping out.
Huge crank on that straight.
Now going for the toe hold, trying to transition.
Knee bar to the toe hold. Huge crank there. Chandler trying to punch his way out.
Hard to get the leg out. Once it's in that position, you have to put a lot of weight on it. And that's what he's trying to do, put weight on that leg, trying to put that foot on the ground. Held just going very hard for this knee bar.
Held still holding with the ankle.
Man, furious start to this fight. Problem is, if Chandler gets out, he's on top.
Chandler said, Jimmy, that's what he was working on specifically for this fight, leg lock defense. Well, he defended that leg lock.
He did. Now looking to ground and pound.
Dive in right hand, and Marcin Held closes guard, now opens guard, trying to walk it up.
Now Held's going to have to be very active from the bottom here. Chandler has great ground and pound. Held has to go for a lot of submissions, I think, to keep Chandler, off balance.
Warning to Michael Chandler from referee Gary Copeland about elbows on the ground.
Good right hands by Chandler, though.
Chandler with a big right hand, diving right back in on his man. Jimmy, this is the position, as you know, that top-level wrestlers are so good at.
And now he's in good triangle position here, but he needs to switch his hips over to the other side.
Nice left hand, sneaky by Chandler.
So one thing about those top-level wrestlers, they have great submission defense. They are very hard to tap. Even if they don't know a lot of jiu-jitsu, they're very difficult to catch. Great awareness.
Look how active Marcin Held is on the bottom. Continuing to walk up his guard, using those legs.
Personally, I think that's a good strategy. Go for a lot of submissions. Keep him worried about his defense, not his offense. You see right here, Chandler pulling out, getting out of these submissions, but not able to throw a lot of effective strikes.
Chandler trying to step through that open guard if Held can't do so. Held continues to hold open guard.
Yeah, really active with those legs, keeping his hips very high.
Going for the arm bar now, Jimmy.
Good position here, but Chandler's so strong. He knows where to put pressure. Good right hand.
Best punch of the fight, that clipping right hand from the top position by Chandler. Held closes guard. How tight was that knee bar that Held had on Chandler?
Now that is amazing.
We'll see how Chandler walks if and when he stands back up. He's trying to finish on the ground.
That's one of those things you get out and it hurts, and maybe you hear a couple pops and you get up and you realize, man, that leg is in bad shape. He looked all right when he stood up, but we'll have to see how it goes when the fight progresses.
Chandler just popping up, throwing that right hand.
I see a lot of blood on Marcin Held. Looks like Chandler might be bleeding somewhere, maybe out of the nose.
Held now holding half guard.
Holding his arm, might be looking for an arm triangle, but needs to step out of that half guard position to get it. That's a great position for a wrestler, and he has it. Held, grabbing his leg and straightening it to get space, but now he's done.
There's the stoppage and the win for Michael Chandler. I didn't see a tap and maybe a technical submission, but Chandler is through to the semifinals.
Held is still on the ground. I think he passed out. That's a great job by the referee. Held, you see, was grabbing his leg, straightening. That's how you get space in that position, but Michael Chandler just too strong. Very tough fight.
Held a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but the strength and the power of Michael Chandler finishing that arm triangle.
And an arm triangle is one of those submissions that is great for wrestlers once you get that arm across, because it's all about positioning and power, and Michael Chandler has both of those. Great fight by both guys. see here the submission attempt early on in the fight. Knee bar to toe hold transition. You see here, kicking out, straightening that leg, really putting his hips into that knee bar. Supposed to pull the toes right into the neck, and that's exactly what he did. His arm all the way up on the heel. That is beautiful positioning. And here's the end of the fight. Michael Chandler has the arm triangle position, then gets out of half guard, held here, trying to get space between his left arm and his neck, but cannot get it. You see right here, he passes out. Great stoppage by the referee.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a result of the arm triangle choke, the fighter did not tap, therefore the winner officially by technical submission at 3:56 of round number 1. Now in the semifinal round of the lightweight tournament, Michael Chandler.
He was an NCAA Division I Wrestling All-American for the Missouri Tigers. Now he is a semifinalist in Bellator's Season 4 lightweight tournament. Here's Jimmy Smith.
I'm here with your winner, Michael Chandler. Michael, you told us in the interview you knew this would be a tough fight. That's exactly what you got.
Polish prodigy, phenom, freak of nature, call him what you want. He's the real deal. I feel blessed to be able to fight him, and he's going to be a champ someday.
Now, that leg lock, it was straight. That knee bar was done. How are you feeling? How did you get out of that? Is your leg okay?
Hey, it's great. I don't get hurt. I'm going to win this thing, and I don't care if it's broken, separated, I'm good. I'm going to win this tournament.
Now, talk us through the end of that fight. You had that arm triangle locked up. It seemed quick. Did you realize he was out?
Yeah, I felt him go limp. I mean, he wasn't going to give up unless his body was shut down. So, I mean, that was the only way I was going to finish this fight. So.
Now, a lot of people are considering you the young, hungry dark horse of this division. What's your message for the rest of the 155-pounders?
I am that young, hungry dark horse. I'm here to stay. I promise you I'm going to win this tournament. Nobody trains harder than me, and nobody wants this tournament title more than I do.
Your winner, Michael Chandler. Congratulations.
Highlighted that undefeated record, 11-0, 6-0. No decisions for Chandler, only 2 for Woodard. These guys are great finishers.
And your inner circle.
Well, number 1, finding the balance. Woodard's takedown defense looked very good against Kerry Veneer, but Chandler's wrestling is on a much higher level. Does he have what it takes to keep it on the feet? Does deep water await? In his 6 victories, Chandler has never been past the 2nd round. Will he have the grit to keep the pressure on in a long fight? Records on the line. Like we just said, both of these young fighters are undefeated and facing a big step up in competition. This fight may belong to the one who is willing to dig deeper.
We now send it inside the Bellator cage to Michael Williams.
Bellator Fighting Championships on MTV2 from First Council Casino Hotel now present the 2nd fight in the Bellator Lightweight Tournament semifinal round. Sponsored by Crisis 2. Be strong, be fast, be invisible, be the weapon. And now set for 3 5-minute rounds. We introduce first the red corner at 5'11", weighing in at 155 pounds. Undefeated as a professional, 11 victories, no defeats, from Missoula, Montana, Lloyd Cupcake Woodard. And across the cage is adversary fighting out of the blue corner at 5'8", weighing in at 155 pounds. Undefeated as well. He enters the cage at 6-0 from High Ridge, Missouri. He fights out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Michael Chandler. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge, Jason Herzog.
The rules in the semifinal round of Bellator Fighting Championships. All fights are scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Elbows to the head are not allowed, neither standing nor on the ground, and there is no kicking or kneeing the head of a grounded opponent.
First round, fighter, you ready? Fighter, you ready?
The winner advances to the lightweight tournament final to face the Brazilian Patricky Pitbull, round number 1.
And the question is, how long will Chandler stand and bang with Woodard?
Jason Herzog is the referee.
Man, he's just coming forward like there is no tomorrow.
Lloyd Woodard is in the white trunks. Michael Chandler is in the yellow trunks. Short right hand by Woodard on the inside.
And this is where Chandler wants to be. He's so compact, so powerful. And he's capable of doing that, just manhandling Lloyd Woodard in that clinch.
That was almost a full-on body slam, Jimmy. Something you rarely see in MMA.
I'm not going to make a big John Studd reference. This is not professional wrestling. That is just great wrestling. That's good. But you see here his power. He's so low. He's so strong. Once he gets that low on you, it's really hard to stop him.
Right hands now by Chandler. Says that his biggest strength, obviously beyond his wrestling, and he was an All-American at the University of Missouri, is his ground and pound. He thinks ground and pound first is what he told us, sub second when he's in top position.
Well, it's what they call pound to pass. Hit the guy until he makes a mistake and lets you get past his guard. Big difference between jiu-jitsu and MMA, but Woodard, to his credit, back to his feet. He showed incredible balance against Kerry Veneer. But that power is so hard to deal with. Veneer had more of a finesse takedown. Chandler comes forward like a bull. Very powerful takedown.
That was a modified belly-to-belly there for Chandler. 2 big takedowns. Woodard did wrestle in his native Montana in high school, and at the age of 16 in Montana, Lloyd Woodard started semi-professional boxing. $150 to win, $50 to lose. His mom actually had to sign the permission slip to allow her 16-year-old son to box semi-professionally.
I see some blood on the chest of Lloyd Woodard. I don't know where it's coming from right now. Looks like it could be the forehead of Michael Chandler. We'll have to see. Woodard doing a good job of tying up the arms of Michael Chandler.
Woodard trying to sit up and sit through. Chandler so sticky.
What he can't do is get laxative. Oh, looking for that arm triangle again. Lets it go. He's got to be careful with this position. Anytime his arm is over the head of Michael Chandler, he has a great arm triangle. We saw it against Marcin.
Woodard trying to stand up was in danger of giving his back, but to his feet. Now holding a guillotine position, but not cinching it on. Chandler looking for a single leg, let it go. Short left hand there by Chandler. Woodard wants to keep this fight standing. He said that he wanted an all-out brawl. Chandler said, quote, "I'm aggressive, but I'm not stupid."
Some blood coming out of the nose of Michael Chandler. You see it now.
Chandler missing with that right hand. Chandler has been working extensively on his striking, but he says, first and foremost, I am a wrestler.
But that's an option Chandler has. Throw 1 or 2, let Lloyd think it's a brawl, then go underneath for the takedown.
Punch from the top by Woodard. That was slick by Chandler.
Beautiful. Pull him off the cage.
Woodard now holding half guard. Chandler looking to pass.
We see Chandler not doing a lot to pass, staying right in the guard, looking for his ground and pound. He's not approaching it necessarily like a jiu-jitsu fighter would. He's on top. There's a good weak side pass to the right, not trying to push on that knee and pass too much. He's content to stay in guard. And Woodard doesn't have that black belt submission level background where Chandler really has to worry about the guard that much.
2 undefeated fighters. Lloyd Woodard 11-0, Michael Chandler 6-0 in this second Bellator lightweight tournament semifinal.
And Chandler's so sticky, not giving Woodard any space, but Woodard back to his feet.
Woodard feinting with the knee there.
Chandler breathing very heavily.
Straight right hand by Chandler, and again going in forward with the shot.
They're taking that out of Matt Hughes' book. That was one of his standard moves. Right hand, right into the takedown. Almost a distraction right hand. And he gets it again.
Woodard went for the armbar, could not find it. Chandler pulling out immediately.
It's so hard to submit guys like Michael Chandler, even when they're fresh out of college, that wrestling background, they're used to protecting their arms, and he's so stocky. Short limbs, so physically strong.
Chandler again looking for more shots. Woodard trying to stay active. You see Chandler trying to stack his man along the fence. Right hand by Chandler.
And so far, this first round is pretty much what we expected. Chandler closing the distance, trying to get the takedown. Woodard trying to get space and make it a brawl. So far, this round is all Chandler.
Woodard trying to shrimp from open guard. Chandler looking for more big shots from the top. Short left hand there.
Stop there. My guys, you're up.
This is the 4th and by far the biggest fight in Michael Chandler's brief Bellator career, which he certainly hopes to extend with a victory in this fight. Our second lightweight tournament semifinal, the victor through to the lightweight final to face the Brazilian Patricky Pitbull.
And I mentioned it in the inner circle. Deep water is a question. You see all those fights, first round finishes.
Jimmy, on your unofficial scorecard.
10-9 Michael Chandler. He was on top most of that round, working his ground and pound. Got to give it to him 10-9.
Lloyd Woodard is in the white trunks. Michael Chandler is in the yellow trunks.
You see Chandler with those leaping shots. They're shots designed to close distance. He jumps in, and if he gets it or he doesn't, he's in takedown range.
Chandler told us emphatically, look, I don't want to stand and bang, but I want to use my punches and my kicks to set up my takedowns, but I don't want to be reckless and force my takedowns.
Now, the problem is that while that's good for wrestling, those leaping shots, they require a lot of energy. They're not as efficient as, say, a stiff jab where you're not putting your whole body behind it. He's putting his whole body behind every punch.
Woodard said, I'm not afraid to take a punch to the face, and clearly he's not. He likes to stand and trade. Chandler, another shot. Good sprawl by Woodard. Short uppercut to the big knee.
That is a legal knee. He did not have his knee down. He was on 2 feet.
Great point, Jimmy, because Chandler was crouched. He was not a grounded opponent.
Great job by the referee, Jason Herzog. Oh, good right hand.
It was the right hand as Chandler was trying to throw the left body kick.
You see Chandler coming in, not moving his head. He gets it low for a takedown. He doesn't move it side to side like a boxer. Woodard was starting to time that right hand.
Woodard missed with the left. Chandler saw the opening and he took it. Chandler, a teammate at the University of Missouri when they both wrestled collegiately at the NCAA Division I level with Ben Askren, of course, who you will see later tonight in our super fight 3 rounds in the welterweight division. Askren versus Nick Thompson. Askren, of course, Bellator's 170-pound world champion. Chandler wants to join him with the 155-pound title.
Chandler, you know, whenever you talk to him, he's one of those things. He was not a state champion, took second in state, had to work for everything he's had. He wasn't one of those guys who came in with a lot of credentials into Missouri, like Ben Askren, who's a 2-time state champ. He said, I've worked for everything I've had. It's given him a really strong work ethic, and it shows here.
Woodard sitting up again. See how tight Chandler is, walking his man back against the fence.
Woodard wants to get up from here, and he does. We see Chandler just glued to his hips, ready to pull him off for another takedown.
Look at that big wide base there of Lloyd Woodard. Right hand to the rib cage by Woodard. Another right. Knee to the thigh by Chandler. Woodard looking for the underhooks. Again, a big wide sprawl.
Oh, good short uppercut by Chandler.
Chandler letting go, then a right uppercut by Woodard.
But you see, once again, that strategy. I only throw to get in for the takedown.
Woodard did a good job of getting his hand out, partially deflecting that damage, but still another big takedown by Chandler. Wasn't the full impact, though, like we saw in that near body slam and then the belly-to-belly suplex in the first round by Chandler.
Well, these cages are padded on the bottom. Slams typically don't do that much damage unless they're really on the head or really on the back where it knocks the wind out of you. But man, it's great for the crowd. It really shows the judges how powerful you are. Good sweep by Woodard. He's on top.
Woodard looked for the Kimura, found the sweep, now gets the back of Michael Chandler and has the waist cinch. And a knee to the thigh. Another knee to the thigh by Lloyd Woodard.
But escaping, getting out of these positions is a big part of collegiate wrestling.
This is still holding the waist cinch.
This waist cinch position, Chandler knows this well.
Look at Chandler reaching through, going for the single leg.
It's kind of a modified switch, turning around and going for the leg. I don't think it's a good idea for Woodard to hang out here. I think he wants to push away and get back to his feet where he was successful early in the round.
Into the final minute of round number 2, this second Bellator season number 4 lightweight tournament semifinal.
He has one hook in. Trying to kind of pull Chandler into his lap. You can see that here. He needs to lock his hands.
Now both hooks in by Woodard.
Now he has both.
Chandler trying to turn with both hooks in. Now Woodard sitting on his back.
We haven't seen a lot of Woodard's submission game.
Sneaky right hand by Chandler, a blind backwards punch.
Going for the rear naked, can't see how deep it is from here.
Woodard looking for the standing rear naked choke in the dying seconds of round number 2.
15 seconds left. Once again, cannot see from here how deep it is, but Chandler is certainly in trouble. Can he hold on?
Looking to finish his Woodard, he lets it go, now punches.
You see the end of that second round, trying to lock in the rear naked, realized he was not gonna get it. Very smart and started unloading with the strikes. Good left hands to the face of Michael Chandler, just not enough time to finish him.
Into our third and final round of this second and final lightweight tournament semifinal. Again, the Brazilian phenom Patricky Pitbull awaits the winner of this in the final.
Now this is officially the longest fight in Michael Chandler's young mixed martial arts career.
Lloyd Woodard is in the white trunks. Michael Chandler is in
Good
the
uppercut by Chandler.
Jimmy, on your scorecard.
I have it all tied up. I gave Woodard that last round based on that last flurry and his ability to land punches early in the round.
Head
Chandler
kick.
got the takedown, didn't do as much with it in that round.
Head kick a moment ago by Chandler, not full impact.
And Chandler still fighting with a lot of energy, still moving forward.
Now it's Woodard on his bicycle. Straight left hand by Chandler.
Oh, good right hand.
Chandler now with the knee to the body.
Now Woodard, we've seen before, has good timing, good movement, but fatigued. I think he can't read the punches like he could in the first and second round. Those right hands are landing much more effectively for Michael Chandler.
Woodard very proud of the fact that he comes out of Montana. He says that I really want to show that Montana is relevant in the sport of MMA. I'm fighting for my state. He's doing a pretty good job thus far.
That leaping left hand right into the takedown.
Jimmy, at least according to your scorecard, unofficial scorecard, this is still anybody's fight. Takedown by Chandler. Woodard sits up immediately, tries to get back to his feet, and he does. Chandler still holding tight along the waist.
This opening couple of minutes is a good statement by Michael Chandler. I still have energy. I still want to fight.
Now that was a big takedown, full slam.
Oh, good sweep attempt by Woodard, just could not get past the left arm post of Michael Chandler.
Jimmy, we are in Oklahoma. How much will the three judges, and this is after all a great wrestling state, really pay heed to those takedowns?
Well, they understand it. They really respect wrestling out here. Newkirk, the town we're in, has a big sign, home of Mark Branch, two-time NCAA champion for the Cowboys. Used to watch him when I was in high school.
Chandler now trying to pass and throws the right hand, tripling up, then a left.
And Woodard's tired. You see his head laying on the mat. That's never a good sign. You never want your head against the mat. Doesn't have anywhere to go when you get punched. Those punches have a lot more impact.
More force from those punches now by Chandler. Biggest shots we've seen from him since the early stages of round number one. Big right hand to the body by Chandler. Woodard now posturing onto his left hip.
And this is something Chandler really focused on. We were talking to him in the pre-fight interviews. He said, look, I've been wrestling competitively since I was a little kid. I'm used to long tournaments. I'm used to, you know, the grind of wrestling everybody in the room all day. I'm a competitor. My opponents don't train like that. They haven't for the amount of time I've done it. He believes this is his time. These third round gut checks, I call them. He's passing the gut check so far.
Chandler in the top position. And there's the stand-up from referee Jason Herzog. Did not see enough activity on the ground. Woodard's going to try to take full advantage here.
Chandler still with a lot of spring in his step.
Head kick by Woodard, and another driving takedown.
I just couldn't control him, though. Put a little too much energy into the takedown.
Woodard tried to slide on the guillotine, but he lost it on the takedown. Now Woodard moving to the back. Chandler just too slick.
Yeah, it's hard to out-scramble an experienced wrestler like this. You try and get around them, take their back, you're playing with fire. Better to just separate.
Again, Woodard trying to sit up. Chandler holding his man tight, keeping Woodard on his hip and a right hand.
Woodard now has 1 minute to turn this fight around.
We are into the 15th and final minute of this bout. Our second lightweight tournament semifinal.
Once again, always thinking about that arm triangle. And now in the full mount. See Woodard's head flat against the mat.
Chandler
he is exhausted.
Chandler back in half guard, but throwing with a big right hand. Woodard trying to shrimp, trying to sit up and through, can't do it. See that half guard there held by Lloyd Woodard. Woodard fishing for a Kimura. He pays the price. Chandler lets go with two big right hands.
Chandler still with a lot of energy in this fight. In the 15th minute, he's still hitting hard.
Closing stages of this fight. Chandler still looking to throw heavy shots from the top. Big right hands by Chandler.
Matt Chandler still pouring it on.
The bell, the end of the fight.
Well, you can see here Chandler, a lot of energy at the end. I think he took that third round. We'll have to see if the judges agree.
When we return, we will learn the winner of this second lightweight tournament semifinal. Minutes. Jimmy, on your unofficial scorecard.
29-28, Michael Chandler. I thought he won the first and third rounds.
To end all suspense, we send
Ladies
it to
and
Michael
gentlemen, inside
Williams.
the cage for the decision, we'll go to your judges' scorecards. All three judges, Jim Lampert, David Sutherland, and Gary Ritter, all score the fight exactly the same at 29-28, all for the winner by unanimous decision. Now advancing to the finals of the Bellator lightweight tournament, Michael Chandler.
Michael Chandler, now 7-0 in his pro MMA career. His family is here, including his parents. Elation from the Chandler camp.
I'm here with your winner, Michael Chandler. Michael, you didn't just win tonight. You showed you could win a long, grueling, difficult fight. Lloyd Woodard was game.
Lloyd's the man. Hats off to him. Toughest dude I've ever fought. Might be one of the toughest dudes I'll ever fight. So my hat's off to him. Lloyd, you're an amazing fighter.
Now, speaking of tough guys you need to fight, now you're in the final. Patricky, Pitbull, what?
Give me him. Let's go.
How excited are you to get in there with him?
2/3 of the way to the goal. The goal is to win this Bellator tournament and then get the title shot. Patricky, he's flashy. He knocks dudes out, but I can't wait for that fight. I'm excited. Give him to me in a month. Let's go.
Let's hear it for your winner, Michael Chandler, ladies and gentlemen.
Jimmy, our tale of the tape.
You see the records here. Both guys earlier in their careers, but only one loss between them. These guys are used to getting their hands raised. That's important.
From Caesars Atlantic City, routinely spectacular. Bellator Fighting Championships on MTV2 now present 3 5-minute rounds, the Season 4 Bellator Lightweight Tournament Championship. Sponsored by Priest in 3D in theaters now. And now inside the cage, introducing first the red corner at 5'8", weighing in at 156 pounds. Undefeated as a professional. He stands at 7-0 from High Ridge, Missouri. He fights out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Michael Chandler. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the blue corner at 5'7", weighing in at 155 pounds even. His professional record, 9 victories, only 1 defeat from Natal, Brazil, Patricky Pitbull. The referee in charge of the action, Keith Peterson.
You'll be giving me your instructions, okay? Take these up all times, it's my commands all times. Touch gloves if you like, let's fight.
This Bellator Championship bouts is under the unified rules of MMA. It is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Elbows to the head are allowed, both standing and on the ground, and there is no kicking or kneeing the head of a grounded opponent.
Eddie, the look on your face is like it's Christmas morning.
I feel like I'm fighting tonight, man.
Round number 1.
Excited.
$100,000 in a title fight versus Bellator's lightweight world champion Eddie Alvarez is what the winner of this bout will receive.
The first opening few minutes of this fight are going to be crucial. Can he stop? Can Patricky stop the takedown of Chandler, or will Chandler try to bang? Those are 2 big questions.
Yeah, it is. I think both of these guys are the biggest test of both their careers, so it's going to be fun to see if they can take each other in the later rounds and see where they're at.
The American Michael Chandler is in the black trunks. The Brazilian Patricky Pitbull is in the white trunks. Keith Peterson is the referee.
Now, Chandler's already, I think, stood up longer than I expected. I thought he was going to come in right, look for the takedown, try to get this fight where he's most comfortable.
I agree. I don't agree with his game plan that he's imposing right now. I think he should have lowered his level and fake shot a couple times already. I think he's doing it enough.
Eddie Chandler told Jimmy Smith and myself prior to his quarterfinal round fight back in March versus Marcin held, he was already thinking about how he would fight you. He saw this as 3 fights, a clear road to a title shot versus you.
Yeah,
Oh, good combination. I think that's where Patricky's so strong. He has good straight punches right down the pipe. That's how we caught Rob McCullough.
Yeah, and a lot of MMA fighters, they don't move laterally, they move back and forth.
Chandler, an NCAA Division I Wrestling All-American at the University of Missouri, where he was teammates with Bellator's reigning 170-pound world champion, Ben Askren.
I think this will be very important in this fight. Can Patricky keep Chandler at bay with those straight shots. It's hard to shoot a takedown when you're worried about taking a shot coming in. Guys who throw wide, loopy shots, they can be easy to take down. Patricky doesn't throw that way.
Patricky Pitbull said of his 3 opponents in this tournament, Rob McCullough, Toby Amata, and now Michael Chandler, he felt that Amata was the most dangerous of the 3. He felt the only way he would lose this fight is if Chandler essentially ground out a 15-minute decision victory.
You know, Amata extremely dangerous, obviously tricky on the ground with the submissions, very hard to finish, but you know, Michael Chandler's just cut from a different mold. He's in that wrestler mode, physically strong, likes the deep water, just a different kind of opponent, not necessarily more or less dangerous, but very different.
With Jimmy Smith, I'm Sean Wheelock. We are happy to be joined by Bellator's reigning 155-pound world champion, Eddie Alvarez. His next title defense will come versus the winner of this bout. This is Bellator Season 4 Lightweight Tournament Championship.
See, I'm really shocked. I'm shocked that Chandler is standing in there as long as he has. I think the longer he does it, the more of a danger he's in. But he seems to be holding his own in there.
That kick is low. Time called immediately by referee Keith Peterson.
Now, do you think it's worth the mental edge of saying, hey, I'm not scared to strike with you. I know I can stay in the pocket, maybe work the takedown second and third round. Do you think that's a strategy?
You know what, Jim? I think you could be right there. I think maybe he's thinking second and third. I want to make him think. I want to get him used to that stand-up. I want to get him used to that, and then I can start going in for the takedown.
See the shot to the cup? Yep, caught right at the top of the cup. Certainly not an intentional shot. And it always sucks whenever you see that and the crowd starts getting on you. You want to hurry up and get back in there before you're ready, but man, you can't do it. Got to take the time, make sure you're ready.
Yeah, don't listen to the crowd.
Patricky Pitbull has 5 minutes. It's not going to take anywhere close to 5 minutes. Time in from referee Keith Peterson. Round number 1 continues.
Especially don't listen to a Philly crowd. It really hurt your self-esteem. You're fighting Eddie Alvarez.
Them guys will boo Santa Claus.
And they did. Chandler misses with the right hand. Patricky Pitbull misses with the left. Eddie, Chandler told Jimmy and myself in our fighter meeting, push kick from Michael Chandler, that he felt that Patricky Pitbull was dangerous in round 1, that he fades badly in round 2 and 3. Would you agree with that?
I'm going to absolutely agree with Chandler. We've all seen it. We've all seen him fade out, especially against McCullough. But we'll see. Looked like the second fight he was in, he got Amata pretty early, so we weren't able to see it. But we'll see what he got tonight. You know, this is the best of both guys. They've been training for 5 months now.
See Chandler picking it up a little bit in this last minute and a half.
I think it's easy to forget, based on 2 straight TKO wins, which really look like knockout wins in this tournament for Patricky Pitbull, that he holds the rank of black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Looks like Chandler trying to steal this round, really turning it up in the last minute and a half.
Chandler missing with the left. Chandler on the double leg, nicely defended by Pitbull. Didn't even have to sprawl, just backed out.
A lot of energy. The thing is that, you know, you see a lot of strikers kind of shut down against wrestlers. They don't want to overcommit. They don't want to get taken down, so they don't throw like they normally do against another striker. Against Rob McCullough, he threw a lot more hands in the first round, and Chandler really impressing me in the second half of this round.
I agree. He just took that shot, and it didn't look like Patricky. I think a lot of times when wrestlers take a shot on myself, anyway, I like to get on them right away because that takes a lot of energy out of them if you stuff the shot.
Nice inside left there by the American Michael Chandler. Swing and a miss by Chandler. Leg kick.
Not necessarily effective landing a lot of shots, but moving forward, pressing the action. That's important in a close fight.
Patricky Pitbull missed with that.
But with a guy with Patricky, man, you got to watch the way you come in. You got to be a little more defensive than that.
Heading into round number 2 of this Bellator Lightweight Tournament Championship. Round number 2. The winner of this bout claims $100,000 in a title fight versus Bellator's reigning lightweight world champion Eddie Alvarez, who joins Jimmy Smith and myself, Sean Wheelock, on commentary for this fight. 3 judges scoring cage side for the state of New Jersey. Jimmy, on your scorecard.
And a really close first round, but I gave it to Michael Chandler. I thought he turned it on in the second half of that round, was more aggressive, landed more strikes.
And Eddie, on your scorecard.
I'm going to have to agree with Jamie.
Oh, good right hand!
Off right there. But I have to agree with Jamie. I think Mike took the first round, more aggressive, keeps his movement well, and I'll give it 10-9.
Oh, caught him with the knee!
Chandler backing off. He's in the black trunks. Patricky Pitbull, the Brazilian, is in the white trunks.
Man, Chandler just bowling forward.
That's a slip by Chandler, flying knee by Pitbull.
Man, these guys are letting it all hang out in this round. Oh, bad shot to the cup. That was
Time called again. The second time in this fight, the time has been called for a low blow by referee Keith Peterson. Chandler the offender both times, although perhaps unintentional.
That was perfect timing. It looked like both of them needed a break.
That's a very positive way to look at it. Oh, man. Oh, for all the males watching right now understand the pain of that moment. Ladies, be thankful that you do not understand the pain of that moment.
Again, Patricky Pitbull now can take up to 5 minutes to recover. Now, in terms of taking a point, and we haven't heard yet from referee Keith Peterson, in low blow situations in MMA and in boxing, some referees look to intent, other referees do not look to intent. They look to the infraction.
Take another look at it in the clinch. Chandler just throwing that knee, man, right on the cup.
Stay over there.
Bad shot.
I believe that Keith Peterson is saying unintentional, so he's clearly looking at intent and not taking a point.
It looks like Chandler's pace is starting to wear on Patricky a bit, and my only concern is he don't come in real defensively.
No.
He's very wild, very open, so he's going to have to watch himself on the way in, but it really looks like his game plan is starting to take effect. Patricky's starting to wear a bit.
And it's funny, we haven't seen any takedown attempts in this second round. It's been all stand-up. He has a lot of confidence in his striking.
Patricky Pitbull says that he is ready to go. We're about to have time in here in round number 2. And again, a point was not taken, but that is 2 low blows in this bout committed by Michael Chandler on Patricky Pitbull. Time in.
Watch for something big. For some reason, something big always happens after a cut break.
Pitbull missing with that kick.
Well, a lot of times you go back in there pissed off, man. Yeah. You want to get the guy back. Good left hook right on the button.
Chandler coming forward.
I think you're right. You know, Pitbull having a little trouble with the pressure of Michael Chandler.
Yeah.
He's trying to catch him. He's trying to catch him after he strikes, but Chandler's already out. He's going in and out well.
Chandler tried to throw the uppercut, couldn't land it.
Almost reminded me this round of almost like a Clay Guida, just a lot of movement kind of all over the place. Very hard to time a guy like that. Oh, good combination by Patricky.
The left was very effective, then throws the kick.
He's countering a little bit better with that left now.
Chandler sticking out the left.
You know, what people don't take into account, these guys have been training 5 months. Both of these guys are definitely injured. I don't care what kind of person you are. They're injured in some way, shape, or form. We haven't seen it come out yet, but in these tournaments, you're training so long that, you know, these are injured fighters. We don't know, you know, what it is, but they got to be injured in some sort of way, and they're in there banging, man.
You know, I've heard fighters say, if you're not injured, you weren't training.
Exactly.
If you're not hurt, what were you doing?
The shot by Chandler, Pitbull pulls out immediately.
I think that's because Patricky's being more effective with that lead left.
Chandler missing with his left.
I'm surprised we haven't seen any left kicks because Chandler dropping his head on that right side, very vulnerable to a lead kick. We haven't seen any. Chandler getting some blood out of the nose. He's not jabbing well. He's leaping into a lot of his shots, a lot of lead left hooks. Problem is they take a lot of energy, and as you slow down, they get easier to read. You can see them.
I agree. It looks like he's committing to that jab like a right hand.
But Patricky catching him coming in with that left shot. Much more effective in this second round with that lead jab and hook.
Pitbull missing with that right hand over the top, then throwing a straight left. Good left hand by Chandler on the inside. Straight left by the Brazilian.
Patricky not keeping that right hand high. That's how that left is sneaking in.
Bad mouse.
Good left.
Bad mouse under the left eye of Michael Chandler.
Oh, now these guys are getting after it, man.
Kick caught by Chandler. Drives his man back and down.
I think that is exactly what Chandler needed. I think he was losing the stand-up battle, but now he's exactly where he wants to be.
Now high-level wrestling versus high-level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, this is going to help him still around here.
If he can stay on top, he might steal this round.
Chandler talks openly, Eddie, about the fact that when he's on top, he wants to set up his submissions with full-on ground and pound.
That's going to be hard to catch a jiu-jitsu black belt like Patricky unless he's hurt.
Big elbow strike there by Chandler from the top.
I tell everyone that in the second, third, fourth round, your black belt, you know, you might as well call yourself a white belt when fatigue comes into play. You know, the techniques that you're able to use in jiu-jitsu, it's really hard to use half of them if you're fatigued and tired. So even if you are a high-level black belt, it's just fatigue makes cowards of men. You know?
And also, a wrestler that doesn't know anything is hard to submit. They naturally keep their arms very short. They have great base. Michael Chandler is training with some great jiu-jitsu fighters at Extreme Couture. He's going to be comfortable here.
Blood flowing from the lower lip of Patricky Pitbull, and a horrific mouse under the left eye of Michael Chandler that looks like it's about to pop. Big elbow from Chandler. Big right hand at the bell. So heading into our third and final round. Again, the winner claims $100,000, the championship of this lightweight tournament, and a title fight versus Bellator's lightweight world champion Eddie Alvarez, who is joining us on commentary for this fight. Round number 3. Jimmy, on your scorecard.
I gave that last round to Chandler. I think he stole it with the takedown and ground and pound at the end of that round. Patricky was looking very good. Another shot to the groin.
That's 3 time called. And will Keith Peterson take a point?
Got to take a point for this 3 times. I don't see how you cannot take a point for that one.
Yes.
This is going to make this fight interesting if it takes a point.
This is going to be the point taken here. There's the 1-point deduction.
That is huge.
Very, very close fight. A point is crucial.
Let me speak from experience as a former pro boxing referee. I always look for intent. Some referees in boxing and MMA don't care about intent. They look at the infraction. But 3 and 3 rounds, I think you don't worry about intent. You have to look at the repeat of infraction.
You see right here, bang, left kick, right, and they've all been right on the cup. They haven't been that close. They've been, you know, it's not like he's, you know, kind of skimmed it. That was right on the cup. And man, in a close fight, could take us into round 4. You never know.
Yeah, that kind of stuff works on you mentally. Even if you're winning the fight and you get hit in the cup there, and it takes the wind out of you, that works on you mentally as a fighter and getting back in there and having to get after it.
But on the Chandler side, does it make you hesitate to throw that kick? Do you choke up on it a little bit, wondering, hey man, you can get disqualified for another one of those?
You got to think about that. But these guys are working on instinct, of course. So I mean, he's like you said, it's not intentional at all. It's purely instinct.
Chandler's not a dirty fighter, but I'm wondering if it'll make him hesitate throwing that kick, you know, because he goes, man, if I hit him in the cup one more time, you can get disqualified for that.
I agree, yeah.
I think that's a nice bit of refereeing by Keith Peterson. Did not take a point, realized that was unintentional, the low blow in round 1, unintentional in round 2, unintentional in round 3, but 3 infractions in 3 rounds, the same infraction. Really, as a referee, you have no choice but to take a point there.
He gets 5 minutes. Not up yet. No, it's not up. He has 3 minutes.
Now, I've called this the final round. However, this fight cannot end in a draw. Now, with a point deduction, in theory, we could go to essentially an overtime round, a 4th and final round.
And Patricky takes this round, and if the judges have agreed with us, we got a draw on our hands. We'll have to see what happens.
I would, if I was Patricky's corner, if I was Lugier, I'd be telling him to take the full 5 minutes. Absolutely take the full 5 minutes. The third one, and he definitely has to win this round. I'd be talking to him, strategizing, tell him to take the whole full 5 minutes and then get back after him, readjust and change your game plan and get back after Chandler.
Now see if we can take a look at those.
He's ready. Ask him he's ready.
All those shots, man. Right here, the first one, top of the cup. Not as bad. Second one, oh my, that was clean and vicious.
Time in, round 3 continues. Our third and possibly final round.
And this is going to be a crucial third round. It would be anyway. First 2 rounds, very close. Eddie, I'm glad. Oh, good right hand. Oh,
head kick there, partially blocked though by Chandler.
I'm glad you agree with me, Eddie. Most judges do not, it seems. Oh, good left hook.
See, he's got to shoot. He's got to get the takedown, and he's going to solidify the fight. he did well at the end of the second round. I think he should finish up with the takedown. There you go. Now
Shot by Chandler.
Good hips by Patricky, staying on his feet. But that's the difference with those solid Division I guys, All-Americans. They shoot in, they keep going until they get the takedown. It's not just a sprawl and they stand back up. He's going to keep driving.
The blood on the rib cage there, Patricky Pitbull, is from Chandler as he goes for a big slam.
Now Patricky needs to get back to his feet very quickly because Chandler can easily stay on top of here an entire round, only 3.5 minutes left. See respect for the ground game. Chandler staying very tight, very close.
Blood coming from the corner of Chandler's left eye, but that mouth still has not popped. If it does, that's big trouble for Chandler because a lot of blood will flow, especially as sweaty as he is right now in round 3. Pitbull bleeding out of the mouth. He's been doing so for some time.
Man, you see the control of Chandler. Look at that strength. He's one of those guys who just manhandles you once he gets inside.
Chandler's playing it smart. I think that's exactly what he should have did. And as long as he stays active and continues to try to pass and punch, I think he's got this fight.
Open guard held by the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt Patricky Pitbull versus the NCAA Division I Wrestling All-American Michael Chandler. Big elbow from the top by Chandler. More elbows.
Watch the back of the head. Watch the back
Warning to Chandler by referee Keith Peterson. Shots to the back of the head.
A little bit of a headbutt there. You saw Patricky complaining about it.
Patricky Pitbull closes guard, now opens guard, trying to shrimp.
See here, so tight on the hips. Patricky trying to get space, but Chandler just not giving him any at all.
Chandler being very sticky right now on top. Has a big wide base. Chandler pounces right back as Pitbull gets to his feet.
And Pitbull needs to get back to his feet right now in order to get this round back. Chandler again with the takedown, Patricky back up.
Waist cinch suplex position by Chandler, and he lost it. Looking for a conventional slam, and he gets it there.
I think that's going to put the nail in the coffin. Looks like Mike Chandler is going to take this one. It don't look like Patricky's going to be able to do much to finish it out.
And you see Patricky, when he's on his back, his head flat on the ground, that's a sign that he is tired.
Big right hands by Chandler. Unfettered shots. More right hands and more.
I think this is what everybody wanted to see. They want to see Patricky on his back and see how he do. And I think Mike Chandler's answering the questions for everybody who wanted to see that.
I agree, and I think what's really been surprising in this fight, I mean, we knew Chandler could do this. I mean, that's what he's good at, an outstanding wrestler, great ground and pound, short limbs, but his striking, he was willing to bang, and I thought he won 2 rounds in the beginning that stayed most of the time on the feet. That's surprising.
Into the 15th minute of this fight. Is this the final minute? Will we have a 4th and final round? Remember, Chandler has lost a point for a low blow in this round. So a draw is a real possibility, which means we would have that 4th round, that overtime round.
Well, if we do, if there is an overtime round at this point, doesn't seem like Chandler's slowing down very much. He has plenty of gas.
It does not. It looks like that pace, the same thing he said in the beginning of the fight, my pace is going to wear on him. I think he's doing it.
Oh,
huge elbow!
Man, we felt that over here in the commentary booth.
Loads of blood coming from the mouth of Patricky Pitbull. Closing seconds of this fight. Pitbull closes guard.
Awesome fight. Awesome.
Outstanding performance by Michael Chandler.
When we return, we will learn the winner of this lightweight tournament championship. The winner will receive $100,000 in a fight versus Eddie Alvarez. Point deduction. Jimmy, on your scorecard.
I have it 29-27 for Michael Chandler with that low blow deduction. I still have a 2-point victor.
I'm going to say the same thing, 29-27, Mike Chandler.
Here to end all suspense is Michael Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we will go to your judges' scorecards. All 3 judges, Jeff Blantnick, John Billick, and Michelle Augustin, all scored the fight exactly the same at 29-27. all for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the season 4 Bellator lightweight tournament champion, Michael Chandler.
Ultimately, he was not hurt by that 1-point deduction for the low blow in round number 3, the third low blow of the fight. Michael Chandler is victorious, now 8-0 in his pro MMA career. He is with Jimmy Smith.
I'm with your winner, Michael Chandler. It was a war. It's what you predicted. You were the better swimmer in deep water.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm extremely sorry for those kicks. I need to get better. I'm going to take that upon myself to learn how to kick. Extremely sorry. But yeah, Patricky, he's the man. You guys have seen his highlight reel knocking dudes out. I just thank God to be in here, and we had a war.
Well, speaking of wars, we have another army right behind me, and you can hear his fans here. The champ is here, Eddie Alvarez. Eddie, I know you love holding that gold. Here's a man who's trying to take it.
Yo, great fight. Everybody give it a chance. Give a hand to Michael Chandler, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait.
And Bjorn Rebney, this guy is what Bellator is all about. He said, I'm coming in, I'm destined to fight Eddie Alvarez. He's gonna be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, Michael, you said you were gonna win it. You did. Congratulations, great performance.
Let's give a hand. Fighting for the belt, Eddie Alvarez and Michael Chandler.
For this world title fight, Jimmy, here is our tale of the tape.
You look here at the record. Eddie Alvarez, vastly more experience in bigger fights against better talent, but Michael Chandler has never tasted defeat. Very confident.
Let's now send it back inside the Bellator cage to Michael Williams.
Bellator Fighting Championships now present 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Lightweight World Championship. And now inside the cage first, introducing the red corner at 5'8", weighing in at 154.5 pounds, having earned his title shot. The season 4 lightweight tournament champion tonight enters the cage undefeated, 8 wins, no losses. From High Ridge, Missouri, he fights out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Introducing Michael Chandler.
9-0, baby, 9-0, Mikey.
And across the cage, the champion fights out of the blue corner at 5'10", weighing in at 154.75 pounds. Impressive as a professional, 22 victories, only 2 defeats. Recognized as the best lightweight in the world today, from Philadelphia, the defending Bellator lightweight world champion, Eddie Alvarez. And the referee in charge of the action, Troy Waugh.
Fighters, center the ring. Fighters, center the ring. Gentlemen, we all know the rules. I want a good, clean fight. I will not tolerate anything less. Let's touch gloves. Let's get ready to rock and roll.
This Bellator World Title fight is under the unified rules of MMA, scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Elbows to the head are allowed. There is Jamie, Eddie Alvarez's wife. His 3 sons are also in attendance. Michael Chandler versus the champion Eddie Alvarez for Bellator's Lightweight World Championship. The bell in round number 1.
How much time will Eddie spend on the feet? That's an important part of this fight. Good left hand.
Chandler is in the black trunks. He got him in the white trunks.
He hurt him back.
He's letting go. Alvarez in all sorts of trouble trying to hold on.
Oh, good right hand by Eddie.
Troy Waugh was seconds away from stopping this fight in favor of Chandler.
Eddie could still be rocked. Remember, Eddie gets rocked in every fight and manages to come back, but you know he is still in trouble.
Alvarez said, one of us is going to win inside of 2 rounds. If that doesn't happen, this will go all 25 minutes. I thought that was a remarkable statement from the champion.
Could be a statement of bad luck because he got rocked.
Partial suplex there by Chandler. Alvarez trying to fire back to the body. Bouncing the step of Eddie Alvarez.
And I think Chandler established he is not to be taken lightly on the feet.
Jimmy, I'm telling you, referee Troy Waugh was about to step in and stop the fight in favor of Chandler.
I'm glad he didn't. Eddie was able to stay on his feet. Didn't look hurt like he was hurt that badly. Able to come back. Another good right hand.
Great inside right on the counter by Alvarez. His best punch of the fight thus far.
And Chandler doing a great job with that lead right. Beautiful jab.
Eddie Alvarez said, I have to pick my spots when to explode, but I need to put Michael Chandler into a fight.
Now Chandler's exploding first, very athletic. I think his speed is surprising Eddie at this point.
Alvarez talked to us, Jimmy, about calculated risk, knowing how to pace himself.
And that's one thing he said. He made very clear. He goes, this kid has not been in a 5-round fight like I have. He doesn't know how to pace himself like I do. Chandler coming out with a lot of energy so far. Can he keep this pace up? Good straight right. Both these guys are having a lot of success with that lead right. Man, only 2 minutes into this fight. Unbelievable.
Incredible action thus far. That's a really clever, almost look away, walk away right hand by the champion, Eddie Alvarez.
And he looks like he's recovered well. That's an important thing. He's been dropped in a lot of fights. He recovers very quickly.
Chandler trying to change levels. Chandler wants to use his wrestling, but on the ground, he is a ground and pound fighter, not a submission fighter.
Good body work by Eddie.
Chandler
now starting to kind of find his rhythm.
Chandler went for the leg, couldn't find it. Alvarez to the body. Chandler now tying his man up. Remarkable start to this world title fight.
Eddie dropped by Joachim Hansen. Tatsuya Kawajiri came back to win both of those fights.
Roger Huerta dropped him as well.
He did. Trying to take his back. Good job by Chandler.
Chandler too slick. Out the back door, a single leg, then Alvarez slick back to his feet.
And the crowd is on its feet tonight.
Alvarez, it was an absolute destruction of Roger Huerta. A TKO stopped between rounds 2 and 3, and yet Huerta dropped Alvarez in that fight.
Now this is where Eddie is at his best, in the center of the cage when he's loose. I think the speed of Chandler, his aggression beginning his fight kind of got him on his heels. Looks like he's recovered, but Chandler's still very dangerous. Oh, another good right.
So remarkable that Chandler, entering the season for 155-pound tournament back in March, said, I'm thinking about Eddie Alvarez. The other 7 tournament fighters said, it's just one fight at a time. I'm not even going to consider the champion.
Eddie's talking to Chandler now. Trying to get inside the head.
Outside kick by Eddie Alvarez.
Of the much younger fighter. I think that's important. Little gamesmanship there. Great knee.
Oh, that was a big knee as Chandler
Another
dropped.
good right.
Good overhand right by Alvarez. Chandler missing with the left. Bouncing the step of Alvarez. Chandler trying to pounce. Knee by Chandler. Good uppercut.
Eddie moved his head at the end of that. Just grazed him. But Chandler's still moving forward.
Chandler not intimidated coming forward.
Good right hand.
Alvarez not intimidated coming forward. No counter fighting thus far.
Man, can you say round of the year? I think this is it.
Right hand on the inside by Chandler.
And he has to be careful with his jab hand. He's got to watch that lead right. Michael has stunned him with it. Another good jab.
Chandler came
up another good right.
A straight wrestler, but he has really worked hard on his striking. Final seconds of round number 1. An amazing round number 1.
Dropped him again.
Right hand by Chandler. Looking to finish before the bell.
You see here the end of that first round, but they are right back in it. Oh, good right by Chandler.
Round number 2, you saw in that replay, referee Troy Waugh about stepped in. He hitched and caught himself. Waugh almost ended his fight in favor of Chandler early in round 1. But we continue round 2, and Jimmy on your scorecard.
Yeah, 10-9, Michael Chandler. Looked like Eddie was winning back that round, but that flurry at the end, I think, iced it for Michael Chandler. That's 2 times it looks like he could have finished Eddie Alvarez. That's stunning.
Michael Chandler is in the black trunks. The champion Eddie Alvarez is in the white trunks. This for Bellator's lightweight world title. Chandler, it was fascinating, Jimmy. He said, I don't want a fluke knockout win. I want to go at least past 3 rounds. I want to show that I have dominated the champion, Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah, that's a bunch of crap. If he could have ended that in the first round, he would have. He didn't back off because he wanted to. You finish it when you can against a guy as dangerous as Eddie Alvarez.
Foot stomps and knees to the thigh by Chandler. Another foot stomp.
I never believed that, I wanted to really show what I had. No, you want to win. Both these guys want to win.
Chandler forgot about that statement when he was trying to finish in round 1. I keenly observed that point. Phenomenal fight. blood coming out of the mouth of the champion, Eddie Alvarez, and a big takedown from Chandler.
This is where Chandler has been so dominant in Bellator, on top. Good submission game, but really good with this ground and pound, tremendous pressure.
You saw Chandler taking the back, but not getting either hook in. Alvarez back to his feet. Alvarez missing with that right hand.
There's an outstanding lead right. I think he needs to set it up a little bit better. Chandler's catching him with that jab coming in. Now he's starting to read the right hand.
This crowd is absolutely rocking here at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida.
Now Chandler mugging a little bit, see sticking his chin out.
Seems to be a split crowd, Jimmy. Half behind the champion, half behind the challenger in this fight.
I don't care who you're behind. This has been an amazing fight.
Chandler trying to become the champion.
Oh, good knee.
Alvarez trying to further his claim as the top 155-pounder in all of MMA and make his second successful title defense.
Now, both fighters said they wanted to make it a fight. Both fighters are correct. That's what they're both in.
How smart there was Chandler, Jimmy. He was in a position to be kneed in the head, and he kept both of his palms flat on the canvas.
Exactly. 3 points position. Anything more than your feet on the ground, you cannot be kneed. Remember, Eddie Alvarez does have outstanding submission skills. A lot of options from here. Guillotines, Peruvian neckties, got to be careful. Chandler has to be conscious on the bottom.
Alvarez now getting his right hand on his left bicep.
The gator roll, anaconda. We see here Chandler protecting, pulling that right elbow down to give himself some space. How much energy is Eddie using here? That's the question.
Chandler back to his feet, eats a knee, and then slips the right hand. Counter right on the inside by Chandler. Both fighters going all out for victory. This is not about scoring points. This is not about playing it safe. This is to win or retain the world title.
Great head movement by Chandler. He's moving back off that right hand very effectively. I think he's reading it well.
Bounce to the step of the champion, Eddie Alvarez. Final minute of round number 2.
Eddie needs to get that lead hand going, that lead jab and lead hook. Michael Chandler's really timing that right hand well with his head movement.
Alvarez to the body, then the head.
One thing Eddie does very well, works the ribs. He's a good body puncher, nice leaping left hook.
Chandler feinting, coming forward. Counter shots the kick, glancing kick there by Alvarez. Alvarez showing his elusiveness on the feet. Feinting, coming forward now.
See Chandler slowing down.
Good kick on the left hand.
See Chandler slowing down a little bit.
Alvarez feinting with the flying knee. Hold it back. Closing seconds of round 2 of this world title fight at 155 pounds. I love this fight, Jimmy. Heading into round number 3, we're scheduled for 5 in this Bellator lightweight world title fight. Michael Chandler earned this title shot by way of winning Bellator's Season 4 155-pound tournament, facing the champion, the top 155-pounder in all of MMA, Eddie Alvarez. 3 judges scoring cage side from the state of Florida. Jimmy, on your unofficial scorecard.
Matt, why did I have to score that last round? Unbelievably close, almost an even round. I'm going to give it to the champ 10-9 and have it even.
Michael Chandler is in the black trunks. The champion, Eddie Alvarez, is in the white trunks.
Now Chandler's pace slowed a little bit in that second round.
Again, Alvarez said, I need to put Chandler into a fight. He did not believe that Chandler had ever been in a fight before. Chandler entering this bout a perfect 8-0 in his pro MMA career.
Now it's Eddie taking the center of the cage.
Good left hand by Alvarez.
That's important. Chandler's at his best when moving forward.
Chandler missing with a hook to the body.
Now his corner in between rounds says, I want to see that uppercut. Change up your punches. I think that's because Chandler is reading the right hand so effectively.
It's been a pretty split crowd, even for Chandler and Alvarez, but now chance of Eddie.
Also, those Philadelphians so loud. Doesn't have to be a split crowd. Even if it's 50-50, you're going to hear Eddie's fans every time.
Chandler didn't know the exact number, but he said, I'll have at least 20 family members here, including his mom, Betty, who you saw earlier, as well as his dad, Mike.
My favorite quote from Eddie Alvarez said, my fans would boo Santa Claus.
They did actually at the Eagles game in the early 1980s.
Oh, City of Brotherly Love.
Good left hand by Chandler that misses with the right to the body.
See Chandler slowing down a lot here.
Alvarez trying to turn up the pace. Alvarez in a position to knee.
Maybe you see here that left hand, he was leaving it on the ground to avoid the knees. Now going for the guillotine.
Chandler pops his head free. Both fighters so sweaty right now, Jimmy. It's tough to get a standing guillotine in those gloves, as you know.
Chandler looked down. I don't know if there was some kind of problem there.
Alvarez trying to let the hands go. Chandler pulls away on his bicycle.
And he's turning it on now.
Alvarez trying to let go with the
Another good right hand. He could be looking for the finish here, Sean.
In stalking mode now. Chandler trying to fire back. Big shots from the champion. To the body now for Eddie Alvarez. Uppercut. Straight left hand by Alvarez. Chandler missing with the counter right.
I think it was a body shot that hurt him initially. It seemed like all the gas suddenly went out of Michael Chandler, like all of his air suddenly went out of him, and he's a great body puncher. I think that was what did it.
Chandler on the single leg shot, Alvarez the sprawl, pulls his leg free.
Man, Chandler looks just about spent, but he is still very dangerous, and Eddie knows that.
Body lock now by Alvarez. Alvarez seeing things go his way here in round number 3. Letting go with the hands. Chandler missing with that right hand. Alvarez keeping his boxing tight. Alvarez to the body. Chandler missing with that jump in knee.
But he's taking big gulping breaths, and he is so exhausted. I think those body shots just took so much out. Now he's in big trouble.
Alvarez sensing the end, trying to let go with the hands, trying to find the finish here in round 3. Chandler so tough firing back.
But Chandler's still loading up. You see just unloading at the ribs. 1 minute left in this round. Can Eddie finish him?
Another spectacular round in this truly spectacular fight. Another single leg shot by Chandler. Another successful sprawl by the champion Alvarez.
And every one of these takedowns that he doesn't get takes so much out of him. Look at the hip pressure of Eddie Alvarez and Michael Chandler just spent from here.
Well into minute 15 of this fight. Remember, we're scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds.
Just relentless with this takedown, but Eddie Alvarez relentless with the body shots. Go for an outside switch now.
Do not grab the fence, Ed.
It's basic wrestling. I think Chandler's just holding on, trying to see the end of the round. See the smile on the face of the champ.
You see the blood over both fighters. Michael Chandler versus the champion Eddie Alvarez for Bellator's lightweight world title. Closing seconds of round number 3. A tremendous fight to this point. Chandler has sensed the finish, Alvarez has sensed the finish, and still we fight on. Here comes round number 4, scheduled for 5 of this Bellator lightweight world title fight. Undefeated Michael Chandler versus the champion Eddie Alvarez. Alvarez looking to record his 23rd Pro MMA win, and this is 25th Pro MMA fight. Jimmy, how do you see this fight thus far?
Man, I give the last round to Alvarez, 10-9. That's his first clear dominant round. I gave him round 2, but that was very, very close. I thought round 3 was the first one he clearly took.
Chandler is in the black trunks. The champion Alvarez is in the white trunks. Alvarez cut badly, and in at least 2 places, if not more, in his mouth. Leaking a lot of blood out of his mouth. There's still quite a bit of blood on the back of Michael Chandler. It's the blood of Eddie Alvarez from the mouth.
The thing is, you know, Chandler established that right hand early on in the fight. That made Eddie Alvarez give him a lot of respect in that 3rd round and not go in for the finish when he might have been able to do that. He didn't want to walk into another one of those right hands.
Alvarez trying to walk down Chandler with punches.
That's when he's been successful, starting with the body attack and then going to the head. Remember, it was a body shot that started the dominance of the third round.
Chandler so complimentary coming into this fight of the champion Eddie Alvarez. He said he really doesn't have a weakness, but what I can exploit is his wrestling. By and large, Jimmy, this has been a stand-up fight.
I was about to say, it's been mostly a stand-up fight. Chandler has really impressed me with his boxing.
Good right hand by Chandler.
He's a little below the chin. Hit him in the upper chest. Eddie coming back.
9th pro MMA fight for Michael Chandler. The first time he has been past 3 rounds. The 25th pro MMA fight for Eddie Alvarez. Just the second time that he has been past 3 rounds.
Now he is still winging power shots, Sean.
April of this year, Eddie Alvarez defended his Bellator world title versus Pat Curran, winning a 5-round unanimous decision.
He looked gassed at the end of that third round, but still coming forward, still throwing with a lot of fire in this 4th round.
Here's this shot.
Oh, good right hand.
Big right hand by Chandler. His best punch since round 1, then the left. Windmill right by Chandler, just missed the mark. A bad uppercut forming under the left eye of Michael Chandler.
Oh, another big right hand. He's hurt. He's hurt badly.
Chandler now pouncing. Alvarez bleeding terribly out of the mouth. Chandler letting go with the full-on ground and pound.
He needs to get space. He needs to get up right now. Chandler is all over him.
Chandler trying to move the side control, and he has it. Chandler knee on belly passes. Beautiful pass now into mount for Michael Chandler.
Eddie has great recovery, but he's mounted right now. Now giving up his back.
Chandler looking
That's it.
choke. There's the tap. And we have a new champion. Michael Chandler is Bellator's new lightweight world champion.
That right hand was landing all night, but this time he was able to get on top, able to get in his comfort zone on a rocked and hurt Eddie Alvarez and never let him off the hook. Here in full mount, Eddie turned his back, and from here, that's it. Arm underneath, power Mataleon rear naked choke. And we have a new 155-pound champion.
An amazing fight and a title change here in Bellator Fighting Championships. When we return, Michael Chandler will receive his Bellator world title, and Jimmy Smith will get his post-fight comments. You are watching Bellator. A truly remarkable and memorable fight results in a title change. Michael Chandler defeats Eddie Alvarez to become Bellator's new lightweight world champion. Let's send it back up to Michael Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage by way of a rear naked choke. The tap comes officially 3 minutes, 6 seconds into round number 4. The winner by submission, and now the new Bellator lightweight world champion, Michael Chandler.
He's just 25 years old. He's now 9-0 in his pro MMA career, and he is Bellator's second ever 155-pound world champion. Michael Chandler is with Jimmy Smith.
I'm here with your new lightweight champion, Michael Chandler. It's my job to not be at a loss for words, but I'm at a loss for words describing this fight. Who thinks this was fight of the year?
What do you gotta say, Trent? I gotta say, my face looks pretty darn good. Eddie's the man. Gosh, I don't know if we can, like you said, I don't know if we can look for a better fight than that. He brought it to me the whole time. It was freaking rough.
Now, as hard as that fight was, all you've talked about is your faith, your drive, your belief in yourself. Did that keep you going through this fight?
It sure did. I told you I was gonna be standing right here. Over a year ago, I told you I was gonna be standing here, and thank God for this opportunity. Thank Eddie for, stepping in here. He's a great champion. Yeah, thank everybody. He's awesome.
Now, speaking of Eddie Alvarez, Eddie, come on over, man. It's hard to say there's a loser in a fight like this. This is the kind, I know it's not the result you wanted, but this is the kind of fight you wanted tonight.
No, me and Joachim Hansen fought a fight like this not too long ago, and in this case, I don't think there is any losers. I think the crowd wins on this one. So congratulations, Mike, and thank you guys for coming out to watch us.
Congratulations to our new lightweight champion, Michael Chandler.
It looked as though Michael Chandler was going to finish the champion Eddie Alvarez in the early stages of round one. It looked as though the champion Eddie Alvarez was going to finish Michael Chandler in round number 3. An absolutely amazing fight, Jimmy.
Incredible fight, Sean. I mean, if you look at it, there is not a boring second of this fight. I mean, the entire fight was a highlight from start to finish, like I told Eddie Alvarez, and I meant it. You know, there can't be a loser in this kind of fight. He lost his belt. I know he's disappointed, but this fight was a war from bell to bell. Privileged to be a part of it, Sean. You see here at the top, the record, 32-17-7 for Akihiro Gono, only 9-0 for Michael Chandler. Can he make that experience a factor? That's important.
Here again is Michael Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bellator Fighting Championships along with Casino Rama. This is gonna be good tonight from here in Rama, Ontario, Canada. Now present 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Brought to you by Everlast, greatness is within. And now introducing first the red corner at 5'9", weighing in at 155.5 pounds. The veteran professional brings 32 victories, 17 defeats with 7 draws. From Tokyo, Japan, Akihiro Gono. And across the cage, fighting out of the blue corner at 5'8", weighing in at 156 pounds. The Season 4 tournament champion, successful in his challenge for the world title tonight. Returns to the cage still undefeated as a professional. 9 victories, no defeats. From High Ridge, Missouri, he fights out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the reigning Bellator lightweight world champion, Michael Chandler. And the referee in charge of the action, Yves Levine.
Mr. Chandler, can you over here? Sir, can you come over here, please? Protect yourself at all time, obey my command at all time. If you want to touch that, do it now, go back to your corner.
Non-title, so scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. Under the unified rules of MMA, elbows to the head are allowed. Akihiro Gono is in the white trunks. Michael Chandler, Bellator's reigning and undefeated lightweight world champion, is in the black trunks. Yves Levine is the referee.
You ready? Fight!
The bell in round number 1.
Our Spanish commentator, Manny Rodriguez, has been training with Chandler in Las Vegas. He says he's one of those guys, at the end of training, he's in the back doing wind sprints. The guy just never physically quits. He goes, his workouts make other guys puke. Gono here's trying to stay very relaxed, very loose.
Feints on the inside kick by Akihiro Gono.
He said one of Chandler's weaknesses is kicks. He's not good at reading them or evading them.
And Chandler admitted as much. He said he's really been working on developing his kicks.
See the strategy, Chandler initiating, Gono trying to counterpunch, catch him coming in.
A lot of bounce in Michael Chandler's step. Gono true to his word, being infinitely patient thus far. Chandler jumping in. Big right hook! Gono's in all sorts of trouble! Chandler's looking to finish, and he does! A lightning strike win for the champion, Michael Chandler, just like that.
Beautiful, brutal right hand put him down, and Chandler just unloaded. Gono just really didn't see what hit him. Man, great shot by the champion. Let's get another look at it. You see here, right hand got through, but it was bang, that straight right hand. Gono curling up and just getting teed off on. Look at the speed of Michael Chandler. Bang, right on the chin, unloads on the head, but look at the speed of Michael Chandler. Man, unloaded.
Ladies and gentlemen, 56 seconds into round number 1. Referee Yves Levine steps in, waving off the fight. The winner by TKO, the undefeated reigning Bellator lightweight world champion, Michael Chandler.
Jimmy Smith is with the champ, Michael Chandler.
I'm here with the champ, Michael Chandler. Mike, you keep calling yourself a work in progress, that you put so much into every fight. It certainly paid off this time.
Yeah, absolutely. I got a lot of work to do. You know, it's definitely got a lot of work to do, and by no means am I complacent. I promise you I'm going to be the best lightweight in the world, and I'm working towards that. So,
talk us through the end of this fight. Got him hurt with the right hand. The last two fights, you've shown great finishing instincts. Talk about that.
Just, I don't know, Betty Chandler. I don't know. She's feisty. You know, she beat it into me when I was a kid. No, but I don't know. Yeah, it's just what I'm doing. I do that every single day in the gym. Got very blessed with great training partners, great coaches. So it's awesome.
Of course, Brent Weidman and Rick Hawn taking each other on for a shot at your belt. What is your message to those two lightweights?
You know, come and get it. Whoever wants it, more is going to come for it. You know, those two are both competitors, both great guys, in and outside the cage. So I'm excited to see them do it. You know, later this month, and may the best man win. And it's going to be tough to take this from me. I'll tell you that much.
And we look forward to seeing you defend your title, the lightweight champion, Michael Chandler, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go with our tale of the tape.
You see the 10-year age difference. That's how Rick Hawn has to fight. Mature, wait for his openings. He can't, I think, beat the athleticism of Michael Chandler. Can't fight at Chandler's pace.
Again, we go up to Michael Williams.
Bellator MMA now presents the second world title fight of the evening. 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Lightweight World Championship. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we introduce first the red corner at 5'9", weighing in 155 pounds. The Season 6 tournament champion brings 14 professional victories, only 1 defeat. From Dragon, Massachusetts, the U.S. Judo Olympian, introducing Rick Dingus Hawn. And across the cage, the champion fights out of the blue corner at 5'8", weighing in 154 1/2 pounds. Tonight, he enters the cage undefeated as a professional. 10 victories, no losses. By way of High Ridge, Missouri, he fights out of San Diego, California, the defending Bellator lightweight world champion, Michael Chandler. And the referee in charge of the action, Big John McCarthy.
Gentlemen, protect yourself at all times, obey my rules at all times. Fight clean, fight hard, fight fair. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Step back and good luck.
Scheduled for 5 5-minute rounds. Rick Hawn versus the undefeated champion Michael Chandler for Bellator's lightweight world title.
You ready? You ready? Get on.
The bell in round number 1.
Michael Chandler very fast. He knows how to explode. Rick Hawn has to catch him coming in.
Hawn is in the black trunks. Chandler is in the red trunks.
That's one thing his teammates have told me. He's really added kicks to his arsenal. Haven't seen that in his previous fights. So one thing, Chandler's hands very low, almost in karate stance. Might not be a good thing. It's a guy with a powerful right hand. Rick Hawn keeping that right hand glued.
Two outstanding athletes who, by their own admission, Jimmy, said, I had no idea how to punch until I started training MMA.
Picked it up quickly.
I say naturals.
Both these guys very gifted athletes.
I'm trying to throw the uppercut as Chandler stepped in.
One thing about Michael Chandler, he was never a national champion, never even a state champion in high school, but an All-American at Missouri based on his work ethic.
There's the shot to single leg and the takedown from Chandler.
That was a lot easier than I expected. Judo guy's so hard to take down, very heavy hips, and man, he just picked him up, dumped him.
Close guard from Hawn.
Rick Hawn's jiu-jitsu coach, Kevin Landry. Team Renzo Gracie, I've rolled with that guy, smooth jiu-jitsu. His other coach, Faraz Zahabi, rolled with him too. They're both great on the ground. So you know he knows what he's doing off his back, but Michael Chandler's so tough on top.
Big elbow from Chandler. It's a clever turn then the push off from Hawn.
Excellent job.
Low close guard again from Hawn.
This is not where Rick Hawn wants to be, is on his back with Michael Chandler on top. When we talked about the grappling, he said, one place I don't want to be is on my back with Michael Chandler on top. If I'm doing any submission work, it's going to be from the top.
Body head with the right hand by Chandler.
You see here, not walking his guard up, not angling, doesn't look like he's going for any submissions, locking up both arms, keeping a very tight guard. Strategy might be to control and look for a stand-up here. Wrestler's so hard to catch.
Chandler, you see there, Jimmy, that's smart. Avoiding the stand-up from referee John McCarthy, just peppering those shots to the body.
One thing, you know, Rick Hawn, from his judo background, they have some submissions. A lot of them are from the top or from throws. They'll throw you and then go straight to an armbar. They don't have a lot of submissions off their back like a jiu-jitsu guy would. And I know he's done a lot of jiu-jitsu since then.
Push off.
He doesn't have the experience on the bottom like he does on top. Chandler being very judicious with the strikes. Now Rick Hawn taking his chance, trying to get up here.
Knees to the thigh by Chandler. Again, driving that knee, and again, Chandler holding the waist cinch. Good control of Hawn, and bearing that knee into the ribcage of Rick Hawn.
See Hawn keeping his hand on the ground. Doesn't want Chandler to angle off and knee him in the head. But he's got to sell out at some point. He's got to take the risk and pop up. Can't stay here.
Again, as Jimmy said, Hawn keeping himself grounded. So Chandler can knee to the body, just not to the head. As long as that hand is down, it's the third point.
Problem is, well, there you go. Can't climb a mountain and leave one foot on the ground. You got to take a risk at some point, and he did.
Chandler went for the suplex.
Whoa!
Nearly the full throw from Hawn. I'm trying to implement his judo there.
Great defense by Chandler.
Big swings, big misses.
But Chandler pushing the pace, being the aggressor. I think he's relying on the fact that he's the better athlete.
High tempo here in the opening round of this Bellator lightweight world title fight, scheduled for 5 rounds. Final seconds now of the opening round. Chandler missing with the uppercut. We'll go to round 2.
Nice stiff jab by Chandler.
Jimmy, on your scorecard for round 1.
10-9, Michael Chandler. He pushed the pace, he got the takedown. I like his advice in between corners, in between rounds from his corner, saying don't get in those brawls like he did at the end of the round. Man, keeping those hands dangerously low.
Jimmy, were you surprised that Chandler is Hawn clips with the left hook there? Were you surprised that Chandler went for and got the takedown in round 1?
Not at all. I'm surprised it took that long.
Chandler on cue goes for the takedown there.
Look at that power.
Hawn had the wide defensive base. It was scooped up and driven down by Chandler.
That's one thing I did not expect. I thought in positions like that, up against the fence, Hawn would be able to use his judo to stay on the feet a lot longer, but man, Chandler not just taking him down, lifting him into the air and slamming him down. So different from his teammate, you know, at Mizzou, Ben Askren, our welterweight champion, get these, you know, outside single legs and funky stuff, and man, Chandler just double leg drives, picks you up, and slams you. Very different stylistically. Chandler, his corner in between rounds, said he's just stalling on the ground. He's just stalling. He's not going to go for anything. Push the pace when you're on the ground. Keep the strikes coming.
Jimmy, from a neutral perspective, what would you like to see more of out of Rick Hawn at this point?
Well, the thing is that, you know, he's got to throw a little bit more. You see him trying to load the right hand, doing some good jobs with the left, and he has to go the jab, some fast punches to get Chandler off his rhythm.
Chandler trying to land the elbow, just missed, and he landed it there.
Let's go, gotta work, come on.
Go for action from referee John McCarthy.
See, Chandler staying chest to chest, really not posturing up to land big strikes.
One hook in.
Hard to take the back up against the fence. Now going for what we call a power half in wrestling. The power half Nelson really cranks the neck.
Something that we rarely see in MMA. Right hands, those are blocked.
Yeah, it's not a jiu-jitsu thing, it's pure wrestling. And that's a strong dude.
Went for the full suplex, still got the takedown to Chandler.
Now has the back.
And looking for the rear naked
He might have it.
That is tight, but hooks in, there's the tap. And Michael Chandler successfully retains his belt.
Not just successfully, dominantly against Rick Hawn. That was unexpected. Man. Remember the name, Michael Chandler. That's a great performance.
He's just 26 years old. He has 11 victories in 11 pro MMA fights, and he stands atop the Bellator lightweight division as the world champion.
Man, a second round finish over Rick Hawn.
Betty Chandler elated at her son's performance.
Here's what was so surprising to me, Michael Chandler's ability to get inside and get the takedown. When they were against the fence, lift and drop. That single leg just picked him up, dropped him on his butt. You see it here, up against the fence, lift, bang, dropped him right on his hip. I mean, just no resistance at all practically. Up against the fence, pulled him out, body lock, bang, dumped him. End of the fight. Both hooks in, you see here, once the arm was under the chin, look at here, he just cranked it, just like Eddie Alvarez. Not pretty, it's all power, all hip pressure, and that is the finish. Once again, look at this. Arm under the neck, and look at that hip pressure, bending Rick Hawn all the way back with his hip pressure. Man, beautiful job by the champ.
A steamroller of a performance by that man, Michael Chandler. Here's Michael Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the tap comes by way of a rear naked choke. Official time, 3 minutes, 7 seconds into round number 2. The winner by submission and still the Bellator lightweight world champion, Michael Chandler.
Let's send it to Jimmy with the champ.
I'm here with the winner and still champion, Michael Chandler. Michael, you told me I would beat up that Michael Chandler that won the belt. You were right.
Hey, that was a joke. That was a joke. No, I got a lot of improvement to do, I'll tell you that much.
But the improvements you have made so far that you talked about, my jiu-jitsu's better, my speed is better, my explosiveness, that was all on display tonight.
Yeah, man, you got to surround yourself with the best people you can in the world. Surround yourself with the best training partners, best coaches. Try to be the best person you can. Good things are going to happen. If you ain't moving forward, you're moving backwards. That's me.
Now talk about the end of that fight. You knew you had it under the chin. Was it just a matter of putting those hips in?
Yeah, me and Neil Melanson worked that about 16,000 times right there. And it worked out, man. It's a crazy game, but I love it.
Give it up for him, still the champion, Michael Chandler, ladies and gentlemen.
Look here, the height and weight. Of course, they weighed in the same weight class, but David Rickels cuts a lot more weight than Michael Chandler. He stands 6 foot. He's the bigger fighter. Can he use it tonight?
Let's again go back inside the Bellator cage to Michael Williams.
Bellator MMA now presents the main event of the evening. 5 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Lightweight World Championship. And now, introducing first the red corner. At 6 foot even, he weighed in at 154.6 pounds. Near perfect as a professional. 14 wins, only 1 loss, fighting out of Derby, Kansas. Introducing David, the Caveman Rickels. Rickels. And across the cage, the champion tonight fights out of the blue corner. At 5'8", he weighed in 154.4 pounds. Tonight, in his second title defense, he stands undefeated, 11 professional victories without a defeat. From High Ridge, Missouri, he fights out of San Diego, California, the defending Bellator lightweight world champion, Michael Chandler. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge of the contest, Jason Herzog.
Okay, fighters, this is for the Bellator Lightweight Championship of the World. We've gone over the rules in the back. There are no final questions from you, Blue. No final questions from you, Red. Touch gloves, come on, ready to fight.
Huge respect between these two. Both talked about their opponent being durable, rugged, tenacious, aggressive, and tough.
First round, fighter, you ready? Fighter, you ready? Fight!
Round number 1.
See the size advantage already. Chandler, though, very fast with his hands.
David Rickels is in the purple and green trunks. The champion Michael Chandler is in the white trunks. Body kick lands from Rickels. A lot of head movement early from the champion Michael Chandler. Snapping that jab. Counter left, but then Rickels is dropped. Rickels and all sorts of trouble, and that is it! A lightning strike title defense for Michael Chandler, just like that.
Said he had fast hands. They were on display there. Dave Rickels is right in front of us. He is still out. Look at it in regular speed. Fast jab, bang! Right hand over the top, and look at this flurry to end the fight. Beautiful counter right over the top, and once he had him hurt, look at this, flicking that jab out, snapping his head back, and then this beautiful counter right, look at this. That follow-up, the speed on the follow-up, that is what is so impressive.
Rickels landed his left first, as you're going to see.
Look at this jab, snaps his head back with it, and then counter right over the top. Rickels tried to recover, but it's like trying to catch up with a runaway train.
And Jimmy, you said it, because Rickels got off first. It was the counter that dropped, and then the natural-born finishing ability of Michael Chandler. A huge night for University of Missouri wrestling alums, a huge night for Bellator World Champions. Ben Askren showing one type of dominance in his title defense, and Michael Chandler showing an entirely different type of dominance in his title defense. Let's take you back to this fight. Chandler just blasting through David Rickels from the opening bell. Rickels felt that he was the superior striker. He could use his technique, his length, his reach, and what he felt was superior punching power. Look at the footwork, though, the movement of Michael Chandler, the hand speed. Something we have not seen at this level from the Bellator 155-pound world champion before. At the end of this fight, you're going to see Rickels throw and land the left hook, but it's the counter. Chandler drops David Rickels, and then you'll see puts him to sleep with just a tenacious finish. Chandler making no mistake and knocking Rickels cold. Huge celebration after the huge victory. Let's go to Michael Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the end comes officially. 44 seconds into round number 1. The winner by knockout, still undefeated, and still the Bellator lightweight world champion, Michael Chandler.
His resume.
Let's get to it now. Our tale of the tape.
Both guys comparable records. Michael Chandler has taken on the much better talent in Bellator. Big step up for Derek Campos.
Here's Bellator cage announcer Michael Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome. As tonight, Miller Lite presents Bellator MMA Unfinished Business. Here at the Scott Trade Center in St. Louis, we begin with 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports. And now, first introducing the blue corner. At 5'9", weighing in 152.5 pounds, his professional record, 15 victories, 4 defeats, fighting out of Lubbock, Texas, introducing Derek the Stallion Campos. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 5'8", weighing in 155.6 pounds, the former Bellator lightweight world champion tonight enters with 12 professional victories, 3 defeats. Fighting out of San Diego, California, he hails from High Ridge, Missouri, introducing Iron Michael Chandler. Referee in charge of the action, Mike England.
Both fighters truly at a crossroads. The result will alter the direction of both Derek Campos and Michael Chandler's careers. Round number 1.
Both fighters talked about the wrestling skills of their opponent, but they didn't talk about what they're going to do with their wrestling. They all talked about what they will do on the feet.
Blue gloves for Campos, red gloves for Chandler. It's very high for Campos. And he told us, Jimmy, he's worked a lot on his boxing. Trying to be crisp, trying to be clean.
Man,
good left hand.
with the jab and the right hand.
Right from Campos. Big right hand from Chandler.
Campos cannot see these punches coming. Chandler showing the speed advantage.
Short left hand by Chandler. That was quick. Campos firing back with the right.
Oh!
Big right hand by Chandler. Mike England taking a really close look. Big hammer fist. Rights, lefts. Chandler looking to finish early in round 1.
And Campos is in big trouble. He is still rocked, and Chandler not letting him off the hook.
Campos trying to find the armbar, eats a huge elbow from Chandler.
This is exactly the kind of performance Chandler wanted in his hometown.
Close guard now from Campos. Jackhammer elbows and forearms, and Campos explodes back to his feet.
It wouldn't surprise me if Campos went for the takedown now. He is getting outboxed cleanly by Michael Chandler.
Campos said my striking is better than Chandler by far, but Chandler very crisp with his stand-up early on. Big belly-to-back suplex for the takedown.
Dumped it right on his head.
Looking for the rear naked choke. Both hooks in for Chandler. Good defensive turn to his hip by Campos. More right hands from Chandler.
And this fight turning into a wipeout for Michael Chandler. And he's got the rear naked.
That is tight. That is deep under the chin. And there's the tap. And just like that, Michael Chandler is back.
This looks like the Michael Chandler who ripped the belt away from Eddie Alvarez. Pure dominance on the feet and on the ground.
The reaction of this St. Louis crowd for their fighter, Michael Chandler. And you saw the huge exhale in victory.
And Campos had nothing for Michael Chandler tonight. Couldn't see the jab, couldn't see the right hand. Beautiful job on the takedown by Chandler. There was not a competitive second in this fight. Beautiful right hand over the top. That was the beginning of the end for Derek Campos. Chandler busy, active, versatile. Never let him off the hook. Never gave him a second to breathe after that right hand. But here was the end. Beautiful rear naked choke underneath the chin. Power, hips in the right place. just like he finished Rick Hawn. A powerful rear naked choke. No one could have escaped that. Beautiful finish by Michael Chandler.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the tap comes by way of a rear naked choke. Official time, 2 minutes, 17 seconds into round number 1. The winner by submission iron, Michael Chandler.
Standing ovation for Michael Chandler. Let's go to Jimmy.
Mike, a dominant performance. When you visualize the fight before it happens, you visualize everything working. Does it look that good?
Not quite that good, but man, Derek Campos is a tough guy. Hit me a couple times right in the mouth. I have a bloody lip, but man, he's just a tough guy. I was excited to fight this guy because I'm not in this sport to tiptoe and find easy fights. He's a tough fight. My hat's off to him.
Talk me through the end of the fight. Everything going your way on the feet, but it was on the ground that you capitalized and finished. Is that how you felt?
I'm trying to get my black belt under Neil Melanson, the greatest grappling coach in the world. A little bit of a wrestling slam there, and then that's just throwing the legs in and trying to choke his neck. And God bless, man, it's awesome.
How does it feel to kick off this card the way you did in front of your hometown crowd? A dominant performance. How does it feel, and what's next?
Missouri is the greatest place in the entire world. My heart and soul is here. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for coming out. Give me whoever. I want that belt back. Will Brooks. That belt's got my name on it wherever you are.
You know Will Brooks is here tonight, and he heard that. Right now it's about iron. Mike Chandler, congratulations.
Look at the height and reach advantage for David Rickels. A lot of times, though, I keep saying it, he's so aggressive, he lets that advantage slip away.
Are you ready, sir? Are you ready, sir? Let's fight.
A huge question in this fight. David Rickels, traditionally a slow starter. Michael Chandler starts like he's shot out of a cannon.
That slow start for David Rickels the first time led to a very quick finish. Strong start by Michael Chandler.
Good throw. Once again, he starts faster than Dave Rickels, but this time, can Dave Rickels weather the storm?
Dave Rickels dropping down to 155 is not used to being in there with guys stronger than he is.
Everybody thinks of what they'll gain changing weight classes. You don't think of what you'll lose. Guys at 155 much faster than at 170. Hard to see those strikes coming.
You saw the numbers on those strikes on the ground, and now you're getting a look at how Michael Chandler racks up those numbers.
And also he's compact, doesn't leave a lot behind to submit with his arms, good posture most of the time. Not easy to work from the guard if you're David Rickels. And he has an excellent guard.
Michael Chandler, hard work, self-made. He wasn't a state champion in high school. He just outworked everybody. He was a walk-on at the University of Missouri.
Dave Rickels on the bottom favors the triangle. The problem is you have to clear the arm. It takes wrist control and you got to step over it. It's a tough thing to do. And the guy's putting as much physical pressure as Mike Chandler is putting on him right now.
He's got the long legs and the height to do it, but yeah, the pressure.
It's the control you need to set the triangle up. Wrestlers spend their whole career training submission defense. They just don't know it yet. Elbows in tight, head up, straight posture. That's jiu-jitsu posturing 101. They do it for 20 years. See that head always pushing down. It's not a head butt. He's just using it to keep Rickels flat, limit his mobility.
There you go. You got to stay busy now.
These are solid shots that Michael Chandler's getting in here.
Doesn't need a lot of room to throw them. He's where that shorter, stockier build becomes an advantage. Going up for the submission, but not able to get it. Nice decision, pushing him off and getting back up.
Well, Michael Chandler looks really quick. He got Rickels with that right.
There's a part where you worry about Chandler's stand-up as he keeps his hands very low. He relies on that speed rather than the hands-high defense, not a lot of head movement. He relies on his physical advantages when he's striking, defensively speaking.
Everything about these two is different. There's a contrast in the way they approach everything.
Rickels much more traditional. Drop the leg kicks from the outside, using his range advantage. Making Chandler come to him. What he's yet to do is look at that lead hand going. He's waiting for Chandler. He's trying to counter-strike. The problem is Chandler's been a little too quick for that strategy to work.
Rickels has been patient. Another takedown. The first signs of damage. That's a tough spot for that cut.
It doesn't look like a bad one, but it's going to cause some blood to pool, especially if he's on his back. One thing about Chandler, having spent so much time as the champ, he's used to 5-round fights. He has great condition.
Rickels more active this time.
Half guard sweep, trying to come out under the leg. And that puts you in Darce choke position. Not able to get it.
Dave Rickels has never been submitted in 20 professional fights. We move on to round 2.
In between rounds, Caveman's corner said he was tough that round. Let's see how tough he is this round. They're hoping Michael Chandler will fade, but Rickels will be able to wear him down.
Nice leaping kick. No surprise with those numbers.
A lot of those strikes on the ground, 69%. That's target practice.
Rickels has only been stopped twice, but one of those was Michael Chandler.
One thing in the Will Brooks fight, Will able to stop a lot of takedowns. It made Michael Chandler spend a lot of energy to keep Will Brooks down. Excuse me, trying to take Will Brooks down. That's what Rickels has to do. He's going to get taken down, make him spend a lot of energy, make it cost him, so that when he stands back up, he has a lot less gas.
David Rickels gaining a little confidence here.
He's having success with that left hook because Chandler isn't bringing his hands up, and he's slowing down a little bit. Oh my God! Going for the guillotine. He's pulling guard to avoid it. Just when momentum was swinging his way.
Wasn't sure the wherewithal David Rickels would have it to pull him into guard here. Both took big shots in that exchange.
Man, what a shot, and he's bleeding severely from the mouth. I thought I might have seen a tooth fly out when he hit him, because he's bleeding from the nose, maybe from the mouth as well. Chandler all over him.
David Rickels trying to weather the storm. He's in a lot of trouble. Huge right.
And going hard for the guillotine again. Rickels able to defend.
We've seen David Rickels get knocked out, but we've never seen a situation where he's had to survive for a long period of time like this. And you can see the mess that Michael Chandler has caused. Mike England taking a very close look.
Man, they are swimming in blood. I don't think it'll take a whole lot for the referee to stop this.
Come on, man, you're gonna have to do something.
I don't know if Rickels can see all these punches coming. He's not giving him any space at all.
Michael Chandler, relentless, trying desperately not to let him go. David Rickels in a world of trouble, and it's over. That was a courageous performance by David Rickels, but a dominant one from that man.
As soon as Rickels was getting some confidence, started to land some punches, Michael Chandler cracked him with the right hand. Man.
If you didn't know Michael Chandler was back, now you know.
And the relentlessness, never let him off the hook, never gave him any space. Once he had him hurt, man, it was like blood to a shark.
And there was plenty of that.
Chandler was landing was getting hit with some shots, and bang! Right on the nose. Right across the nose. All the blood we saw was from the nose. I thought it hit him in the mouth. I was mistaken. We're on the other side of it. That was sweat flying off. Thought that was a tooth. But just smashing his nose with the right hand. And Rickels never able to get back into this fight. Doing everything he could. You can't question his heart. You can't question his guts. But Iron Mike Chandler would not be denied tonight. Tried to get space to get back to his feet. Constantly pushing him back. And his face was a mess by the time he totaled up. As soon as he got in this position, referee saw the opportunity he needed to stop this fight. I think he was waiting for it, Sean.
That was 1,000 words and a lot of blood.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the end comes. 3 minutes, 5 seconds into round number 2. The winner by TKO Iron, Michael Chandler.
Time now to check out the tail of the tape.
The reach advantage by Patricky Pitbull is slight, but he needs to use it. Michael Chandler very fast on the inside.
Time John McCarthy has reffed Michael Chandler. 4th time he has reffed Patricky Pitbull. But none of them close to having this kind of magnitude. And that is what it's all about.
All right, you ready? You ready? Get it up!
I always tell people, when you think of Michael Chandler, you want to see him at his best, you want to see him at his worst. Look at the Caveman Rickels, their 2nd fight. Started out fast and then faded in the 2nd round.
It was interesting to me to listen to Michael Chandler talk about Patricky Pitbull as someone who starts fast and then fades, because that was the Patricky Pitbull he fought 5 years ago. It's turned around the last year.
Yeah, much more patient fighter. He looks for his spots, doesn't throw a lot in the 1st round.
To the point that slow start cost him that fight with Derek Anderson, that split decision loss in December.
Very true. And what I said about the Caveman rematches, he started walking into punches, he had his hands down. Now, he caught Caveman, I was able to finish him before Caveman could really capitalize, but, you know, dynamic and explosive in the 1st round, and then he starts fighting, well, he said, fights with his face. He neglects his defense. He says, I've repaired that. That's not a part of my game anymore. Let's see if he's right.
There's the level change, and Patricky Pitbull, that's a big moment for him, the takedown defense. He was proud of it 5 years ago. In the 1st fight, he stuffed several takedown attempts from Michael Chandler.
And that was well set up. Nice off the jab. Wasn't from outside. It was a close takedown. He didn't get it.
Low blows were a big part of that 1st fight.
Lost a point.
It didn't matter in the big picture of the decision, because he ended up winning 29-27, winning the 3 rounds. But Patricky Pitbull will tell you, when you watch the fight, the tape sort of lives up to this. They came at times Patricky was building up momentum.
Exactly. And depending on the referee, someone would just disqualified you for that many. Michael got the benefit of the doubt there.
Left jab got through for Michael Chandler. You can see he's playing chess right now, just trying to set up the takedown.
Chandler is faster, Patricky Pitbull more powerful, more naturally heavy-handed. That's the difference in their striking styles.
And a huge right by Michael Chandler, and it's over.
Michael Chandler came in wanting to take the fight to the ground. Instead, he puts Patricky Pitbull to the ground, and we have a new lightweight world champion.
Let me amend that. Speed and power. Beautiful shot right on the chin. That was a technique knockout. Man, now it's Patricio and Michael Chandler going at it. Let's go! That's what I loved about this round. Look at this right hand. That's fast in slow motion.
Watch it in real time. That is one of the biggest shots we have seen this year.
That right hand, where he landed it, would have knocked out a welterweight, a middleweight. That's exactly how you're supposed to do it.
And a rhinoceros.
Nailed him. Great, great job on the stoppage by Big John. Look at it here, little feint on the jab. Caught him overreacting just slightly. And he lands out. His mind is somewhere else other than this cage, and we have a new champion.
Michael Chandler's vision quest has come true. Michael C. Williams will make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the end comes suddenly. 2 minutes, 14 seconds into round number 1 by knockout. He is the new and now two-time Bellator lightweight world champion, Iron Michael Chandler.
The tail of the tape in the main event for the lightweight world title.
Look at the record. What do we keep talking about? The names. Benson Henderson has beaten the consistency of his career. Michael Chandler wants to erase that record of Henderson's with a knockout.
5 years of waiting is over. It's main event time. Michael C. Williams time.
Ladies and gentlemen, live on Spike, Miller Lite presents Bellator MMA from San Jose, California. The time has come for the main event of the evening. 5-minute rounds for the Bellator Lightweight World Championship. Sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, Commissioner John Carvelli, Chair, Executive Officer at Cageside, Mr. Andy Foster. Tonight's world title fight is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. It's Miller time. And now, first introducing the blue corner. At 5'9", he weighed in 154.9 pounds. The two-time former lightweight champion tonight fights for his 3rd world title. He stands with 24 professional victories, 6 defeats. Fighting out of Glendale, Arizona, presenting the challenger, Smooth Benson Henderson. And across the cage, the champion tonight fights out in the red corner. At 5'8", weighing in 155 pounds even. The two-time champion tonight makes the first defense after reclaiming the title, entering the Bellator cage with 15 victories, just 3 defeats. Originally from High Ridge, Missouri, he fights out of Boca Raton, Florida, the defending Bellator lightweight world champion, Iron Michael Chandler. And when the bell rings, the referee in charge of the action, Big John McCarthy.
Gentlemen, got over the rules in the back. I want you to protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands. At all times, I want you to fight hard and fight clean. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Good luck. Thank you, baby.
That moment before the die of history is cast.
All right, here we go. You ready? You ready? Get it up.
What you talked about, Shale, when Michael Chandler seems like a young fighter, part of it is that explosive start, that energy he brings in. Most guys mellow out a little bit, being 15-3. He still comes out with kind of youthful energy. It's the only way I can put it.
15 wins, 13
by way of finish. 11 of those in the first round. I checked his record. He told me that stat. I said, well, you know, that's not true. They're not all in the first round. He said, well, they were close enough. I don't know that it works that way, but this is what he said. So fine, 15, 13 wins. Whoa! In the first round. You talk about the eye of the tiger. If you saw that stare down, that's what Benson Henderson had in his face. That is exactly the look that expression came from. Chandler really is the one controlling the ring so far. Good kick followed up by a straight.
Jimmy, we didn't see that look coming down the ramp for Ben Henderson his first 2 fights in Bellator.
We did not. This is his future, like he just said. Koreshkov, you could put down to, well, that was a 170-pounder. Poor performance against Pitbull. I was warming up. I would have warmed up in rounds 2 and 3. He can't lose this fight and think that his future is going to be the same as his past.
That's fair. That's a fair point. I will point out, and a lot of times when fighters take the skid and it starts to be towards the end of their career, their jaw gives out, something gives out, their body gets hurt. That's not the case with Benson Henderson. He's as tough as an old leather boot. He's never given up in there, and perhaps he did underestimate a couple of guys coming in as a guy that had climbed the mountain, not just once, but twice. He knows exactly what he's in here for with Michael Chandler. So Chandler beat him, he will be beating the best Benson Henderson we've seen yet.
RDA knocked out Ben Henderson, but he had never been dominated the way he was by Andre Koreshkov for 5 full rounds. You can make the case if you want. That first round with Patricio Pitbull, Ben Henderson hasn't even won a round yet in Bellator.
I haven't given him, I've been in the Bellator kid for a half hour. I haven't given him a round. Nice
good right by Michael Chandler.
Another one connected. That's 2. Benson Henderson needs to grab it or circle off here, not go back 3. That one got through. Oh, uppercut through.
Chandler walking forward right now with no respect. Going right at Benson Henderson. He's looking for the first round KO.
Chandler cannot knee the head. He can knee the rest of the body, but he can certainly punch to the face, and he is. Benson Henderson's got to change his position. Right here, he's clamped down to one arm. That's a great start. Buy yourself some time. Get the glove check.
Wow, what a suplex by Michael Chandler.
That's a 5-point throw, my friend. Going for the guillotine.
This is the Neil Melanson technique.
Positioning isn't great, though, and he gives it up. He knew he couldn't finish in half guard. Smart move.
Smart, good move. He's doing what we call framing now, where he's going to push off the chin, get his forearm under. Benson Henderson going to a rubber guard, which I don't recall him doing before. But frankly, he's in a pretty good position. Options are a couple here.
He's Chandler first in this, and he gets out.
Primarily a triangle choke. He's lost the position. We've seen Benson Henderson score in this position. I remember he knocked Frankie Edgar halfway out with an up kick. Michael Chandler doing a good job keeping his hips forward.
Right now, Chandler's showing no fear.
He needs to keep his chin protected. Benson Henderson is excellent at kicking his opponents in the face from this position.
Nice right hand.
Another one gets through.
Another round in Bellator that Ben Henderson is getting dominated, and Michael Chandler trying to lock in.
Michael Chandler has this. On a normal opponent, that would have worked.
Oh, great right hand. Got through. That is how Ben Henderson got knocked out by RDA in a scramble trying to get up. Michael Chandler just teeing off.
He's swinging like this is a one-round fight.
If he keeps and connects one more time, it may be.
Gentlemen, on a different opponent, this one would have been over. I don't know if the fans at home understand the beating that Benson Henderson just took in the last 4.5 minutes because he pushed through. Both of those chokes were secured. 3 of those 4 shots were fight-ending punches. And here we see Mr. Smooth show us all why he is a 2-time world champion.
The question for Chandler coming in this fight was pacing. He unloaded right now. Now he needs a break. He has a history of doing that throughout his fights. Can he get his energy back in between rounds?
A monster first round for the champion, Michael Chandler. How much did it cost him is the question.
Hey, jump your head, that's where he's like,
When someday Ben Henderson goes into the Hall of Fame, they'll be talking about his chin and his ability to keep coming forward.
Unreal.
Now, the discussion becomes, Was round one a 10-8 round for Michael Chandler or a 10-9 round?
I went 10-9, and I'll tell you why. I didn't see that fight-ending moment. He ate some big punches. I didn't see a moment where Big John was thinking about coming in. It wasn't that kind of sustained fight-ending beating, but I went 10-9. Wouldn't surprise me if the judge went the other way.
We should add, we've seen a lot of fights tonight. Judges have been liberal with the 10-8 rounds. We've seen it throughout the course of the night.
I watched his fight with Eddie Alvarez, Michael Chandler's fight with Eddie Alvarez over and over and over again. And what stood out to me was fantastic one round, recharging one round, letting Eddie back into it, back and forth, made for a great fight. But you see why he unloads, then he needs a recharge sometimes.
Now, Chandler told you the other day in fighter interviews, he said, you know, it's not a matter that I fatigue. He said, I come out with a pace higher than any man has ever seen. So I only have one way to go, which is down a little bit, but I'm not gassing. I don't know that I fully believe that. If you start with one pace and you diminish it, and I do understand his point. Good shot there by Benson Henderson. But time will tell. Can he keep this pace? In the last frame, he was the one moving forward. Benson Henderson moving backward. In this frame, we're starting to see Benson Henderson stalking a little bit with Chandler catching some breath and backing up.
I always tell Michael when I used to coach, never set a pace you can't keep. Chandler thrives on doing that. He ramps up, he goes down. He ramps up, he goes down. Benson Henderson always consistent. Never expect him to not be in front of you.
Close the hand when it's out, Mike.
Oh, another good right hook over the top.
That got through. That got through for Benson. No follow-up on it. There he digs to the body. Chandler steps back just a little bit. Push kick followed by a cross for Chandler.
What we're not seeing a lot of that I expected to see is Benson Henderson with those lead leg kicks like that, but also the teeps, the range-finding things that guys have trouble. You have to get around his legs to get to his upper body. Hasn't been throwing a ton of that.
Yeah, that's right, particularly when you are taking on a wrestler. And I realize Chandler hasn't used a lot of that. He's kind of striking with him. However, that is something, and we saw it earlier tonight in the Girtz fight. We saw his opponent, Adam was throwing the kicks right up the middle, kept Girtz off him. Now Benson comes in with a 1-2.
But he's content to fight it at boxing range, and I thought that was surprising.
Okay, I couldn't tell if Benson got knocked down there and grabbed the legs on the way down or if he shot right as he was getting punched.
He tends to do that, change levels when he gets hit, try to take his opponent down.
Good kick to the body. Chandler responds, good outside kick there. Seen a few of those from Henderson in this round.
Now that's a great tweet right there. How long can Chandler keep the pace, but how long can Benson continue taking the beating? We've seen Benson take the beating for a long time. There's more evidence that Henderson can take a beating for a long time rather than Chandler can keep the pace for a long time.
Kick was low. We've talked over and over again in the months leading up to this fight about the deep water that Ben Henderson wants to take Michael Chandler into. But that shallow water is shark infested. You've got to swim through it to get there.
You okay?
Here's the
How you feeling?
groin shot. Bam, that was right to the cup.
Yep.
This is the sideways is always bad. It moves it. You all right?
Sideways always moves it, is what John McCarthy said.
Moves the cup.
Come here, take a deep breath. I want to see it.
Michael Chandler will be given up to 5 minutes. He can stop his own clock, which he just did.
Careful with where it's at, all right?
And guys, in fairness, there's a little gamesmanship there too. That was not Chandler's fault. That was a low blow. He's given 5 minutes. If he needs to catch his breath, go ahead and take that time. He decided to come back into the fire. So perhaps he isn't as fatigued.
Now I thought we'd see more of this from him.
Yes, the range-finding
the range-finding kicks, the teeps, the side stuff. So frustrating getting through that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and he's scoring. And he's scoring with these. These matter to judges. This is a very close round, and Benson Henderson is scoring.
Nice right. I have it about even right now. I think whoever owns this last minute wins the round to me.
What do you have to do to Ben Henderson? John McCarthy was the official when he suffered that one knockout loss. And even that, 2 more seconds, you get the feeling he would have snapped back. Southfield Dos Anjos.
Who, by the way, RDA has welterweight power. That
sure does.
This is where he's done damage against the fence. Another good right hand.
This is a good 5th minute here in this round for Michael Chandler. This is a very tough round to call right now.
God, why do fighters do so much core work? Yeah, because of that. Yeah, those kicks suck.
When he regained the world title in June, Michael Chandler was looking down at Patricio Pitbull from the top of the cage. But in the Bellator record book, he is looking up at him. Patricio, the only one above him in wins.
That leg kick to the body keeps on getting through. Jake Ellenberger recently finished Matt Brown with that exact same kick. And there, and Benson should just keep going back to the well, guys. Chandler is not going to adjust it during this round.
All right, Jimmy, there'll be a lot of discussion that second round. Obviously, however you saw it, it was very close.
Extremely close. I went 10-9 Chandler. I thought he finished a little stronger and landed some power shots with the right hand. For those at home who always hate my scorecard, the American Gage and I agree on that one, 10-9, so he can take some of the heat for it, too. Very close round.
It's also possible there are judges that went 10-8 for Chandler in the first round and gave the second round to Ben Henderson. There's all over the different ways to go.
Nothing in sport like controversy, gentlemen. Yep. Benson Henderson's smart. Boy, I want to be smiling after that.
Nothing in sport like two high-level world championship caliber fighters meeting in the main event.
And what it starts doing, not only does it hurt getting kicked in the ribs like that, as the rounds go on, breathing gets harder and harder. It feels like you have an anaconda around your chest when that swelling starts setting in.
Great shot by Henderson. Now we're seeing good defense here by Chandler. But a good pressure and a good scramble by Henderson. Good leg kick by Chandler. Round and round they go.
Good, he can push there.
Right here in the eyes of the judges, guys, even though not lots is happening, whoever has their back against the fence is losing the position, and these seconds matter. If Henderson can just hold this, even lift a knee, maybe a foot stomp.
Do it.
Now, when they're in those clinch positions, we're in the double leg positions, Chandler a little bit shorter, a little bit stocky. It's hard to get underneath his shoulders, which is huge if you're going for the takedown.
Only way to do it. If you want to take him down, you've got to get underneath him. Another good leg kick there by Chandler. Benson backing up, conceding real estate of that ring a little more than he usually does, a little more than I like. But Chandler also doing a good job of cutting him off and putting pressure. There's a good 1-2 by Chandler, and again, it does score.
We saw the same thing against Koreshkov. Once he felt the power, once he got the respect, he started playing the outside. We're seeing a similar thing. His right hand's hurt him, no doubt, in round one.
Henderson is taking that good 1-2 basic combo right on the jaw. Oftentimes, the real problem, gentlemen, is he's not firing back. When he takes that shot, he needs to answer.
Now, he's done well with the jab and this kind of lead right hook. I think he needs to mix in a few more power shots with his left hand. See if he can get Michael Chandler backing up. Go for the guillotine.
All right, Chandler had this exact same position in the first round. Should have finished the fight. Benson Henderson found a way out of it twice. Chandler has it again here. He should finish this fight.
Problem is, as soon as he gets guillotine position, Henderson pulls half guard, which makes the guillotine much, much harder to finish. He'll concede that bottom position to get out of the guillotine.
Any fighter that wants out of a contest takes that opportunity that Chandler just gave him. Benson Henderson is here to fight, gentlemen.
For sure.
Chandler
one
to the
hook
back.
In. Can't see if he has the other one. They're up against the fence. Chandler has what I call wrestler's jiu-jitsu. It's opportunistic. If I get your neck, rear naked choke, front choke, I squeeze until you're out. It's not pretty, but it's powerful.
You don't think the kicks of Ben Henderson are doing damage. Get a load of the left leg of Michael Chandler.
Oh, man. Good scramble here, but Chandler on top. Like we said about the fence work, down top you're winning in the eyes of the judges.
There's nothing normal about Ben Henderson.
Nothing at all.
Benson Henderson just won't concede a position. Michael Chandler, when he gets on top, he needs his opponent to relax, to concede. Okay, you've got the position. Let's see what you can do. Benson Henderson will not do that. He keeps moving, he keeps working, and it's making it hard. Though Chandler is having good moments here, it is making him hard to advance.
You think you're going to get 25 easy minutes out of Benson Henderson 155, you're wrong.
You are wrong.
And for that sit out, that Kelly can't get it. Wow, interesting choice.
I agree with that.
Interesting choice. Henderson has a great guillotine. He's going low single leg.
Very interesting why Chandler chose to put his head underneath.
Living up to the villain. The Michael Chandler, and Michael Chandler guy started strong.
Beautiful right hands, aggressive. Look at this beautiful suplex. 5-point throw in freestyle, and then Michael Chandler going for the ground and pound. I don't know what is in Benson Henderson's head, but it's not normal brain matter because he started coming back in round number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Benson Henderson is anything but conceding this contest, and with 2 rounds left, I think he's down by 3, but I don't know if he knows it. Benson Henderson is here to win a world championship. It's as simple as that, guys.
Every round, there hasn't been an easy round to call. Was the first round 10-8 or 10-9? Was the second round, was it Chandler or Henderson? How did you guys see the third round?
I thought that was pretty clearly 10-9 Chandler. On top a lot, landed the better punches.
Now, Michael Chandler is winning the fight, but look at the number on your screen. When fights go this far, now we're in Ben Henderson's territory.
Exactly.
Right.
Michael Chandler has never won a decision in a 5-round fight. Benson Henderson lives there.
When he tapped out Eddie Alvarez, that was in round 5. It was not a decision. Chandler has only lost 3 fights. The 2 decisions that he lost were both very controversial, very close fights with Will Brooks and the rematch with Eddie Alvarez. Ben Henderson has gone to the judges 14 times and 11 times has had his hand raised.
All right, great shot here by Chandler. One of his first, picks him right up.
Watch the triangle, dumps him.
The only advantage to picking a guy up off the ground is you got to put him down where you want. I don't think Chandler quite got over to his corner. An old Matt Hughes favorite. Remember when Matt Hughes used to do that? Walk you right over to his corner and plant you hard as a rock. Matt Hughes used to get into the ring before the fight and walk around and feel the hardest part of the ring. That's a true story. Pick his opponent and try to put him down on that. I think Chandler had a little inspiration there. He's got Benson Henderson down. He's starting to score. But guys, look at Benson Henderson. He will not concede a position. He will not lay there until he stops moving. Michael Chandler can't start an offense.
It's tricky.
It is
very tricky.
I just want everyone to understand how tough. This is an absolute display of toughness by Benson Henderson, who's got a Kimura.
Can't finish.
Chandler comes out. Benson Henderson has been flirting and taunting a triangle choke all night long. Sooner or later, he's going to throw that up.
Yep. Ground game very, very tricky, very underrated.
Deep in the fight, bodies are sweaty, much harder to hang on to positions like that, especially from where Ben Henderson was.
And one thing, just to add to that note about the takedown, getting lifted like that, usually demoralizing. Can take guys mentally. When a dude beasts you like that, man, it takes a lot of wind out of your sails. Don't expect that from Benson Henderson, too experienced.
Benson just waited for gravity to kick in, knew he'd come down eventually, and went right back to work. I'm fully aware he is losing these positions. I'm just saying it is so surprising that he will not concede. He will not concede anything.
Tricky little details. Tricky little details. Keep enough weight off him. Switch. Trying to come out again. Chandler won't give him any space.
Chandler's got his hands locked here. The first thing Benson needs to do is try to break that lock. He can pummel inside. He can put pressure on the wrist with the elbow. He can threaten a guillotine.
Beautiful.
Excellent. Excellent reshot and a lift there by Chandler.
And just like you, I've done my research. Michael Chandler, never a state champion, second in Missouri, just like you. Second, he said it just kept that fire burning all the way through college and made him an All-American. He wasn't one of those prospects coming out.
Ben Henderson hunting for it again.
Chandler's going to have to roll. Okay.
You know, his hips weren't behind that submission. He had the Kimura position with his arms, but his hips weren't engaged. Not going to finish that.
Yeah, to the point you made a minute ago, you're right. He wasn't a champion as a high school athlete. He went into college at Missouri with the greats like Ben Askren. He went in there with Tyron Woodley. He battled it out. He set his goals, and he's been able to elongate his career. And here is a former non-state champion who is now the world champion.
And even as the world champion, he had something else to drive him, and that was Ben Henderson.
Exactly. He's always found that motivation somewhere. And Henderson, a guy who usually nonstop. I see some deep breaths right now. Starting to feel the fatigue. Because, man, Chandler relentless with this pressure on top. Wasn't sure if he'd be able to get in this position, and man, he's just not letting Henderson off the hook.
Could Michael Chandler do it in rounds 4 and 5? That was the question. There was an inevitability that this fight would end up here.
And once again, going single leg, late, kind of an Iranian position. That's dangerous against a tricky grappler.
I don't understand it. Anytime you're in a grappling position, you want your head higher than your opponent's. He is electing to put his head lower.
Ben Henderson trying to get under Chandler, trying to roll over.
Oh, man.
Wow. Huge escape for the world champion.
The end of that round flips over, gets out of this crucifix position. Bell rings, and look at it here. He stayed there on his knees, and watch him get up right now. He stumbles trying to get up and get to his school.
So now the drama off the chart as Michael Chandler, who could conceivably, depending on how you've scored this, he could be up 4-0. And yet Michael Chandler, the worse for wear, and Ben Henderson now in the 5th round where he lives and breathes, and he was pumping up the crowd in between rounds while Michael Chandler was just trying to get to the stool.
Chandler has never been a guy who goes into survival mode easily. His hands down, still coming forward. He's not angling and circling and playing for the final bell. He doesn't do that. For better or for worse.
For better or worse. Listen, you dance with the one that brought you. He seems to know what he's doing. I'll tell you this from that last round. He was stuck. That was excellent, excellent defensive technique by Chandler to get out of that. Here we are now, and Benson Henderson is pushing forward. I think Henderson clearly knows he needs a stoppage in this round, and I think he's going to go out and try to get it.
The only round on my scorecard that's up in the air is round 2. I went 10-9 Chandler, could easily go 10-9 Benson Henderson. All the other rounds, I think pretty clearly Michael Chandler.
But remember, and if you're just joining us, 10-8 was in play in round number 1. On a night the judges have been fairly liberal with the 10-8.
Fans, Jimmy Smith MMA on Twitter, let me know what you think. I only think round 2 is close. I see this basically out of range for Benson Henderson. He needs a finish.
Ben Henderson is not human.
Oh, brutal body shot. But he's also not necessarily a knockout puncher either. He's not a guy who knocks opponents out.
3 knockouts in 30 pro fights.
Here he is. You know, he's failed at 2 takedown attempts earlier tonight. He got the 3rd. Now he's got his. What is going on, gentlemen? Benson Henderson just put the hooks in on Michael Chandler. He's turning the chin. He is turning his chin. This is a pressure hold. He's not going to choke him out here, but he can make this very, very uncomfortable.
He can crank him, but with a neck like Michael Chandler's, I don't see that happening. He needs the full choke. And Michael Chandler, that's the face of an exhausted fighter.
Benson Henderson looking for a body triangle. He couldn't quite find it. He missed it by about a ½ inch.
Going for the armbar, and he's out.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. That is what we call in the business a hope spot. Major opportunity there for Benson Henderson. And we are only halfway through this round. I assure you, he is not done trying to win this contest.
Michael Chandler, that's the face of a world champion hanging on for dear life.
Boy, the switch couldn't get it.
Very smart by Chandler. Right now, he's just keeping this double, keeping that shoulder pressure, grinding Benson Henderson, and he's trying to beat one thing, and it's not Benson, gentlemen, it's the clock.
What can Michael Chandler do in his sleep? Has he been doing his whole life? Wrestle. Even though he's tired, you go to what you know. You go to the things you're used to. He's going to his wrestling because his energy just isn't there. But right now, Benson Henderson turning it on again.
Benson's going to come out with his back again. I don't know that he'll get both legs in again in this fight. It was a very great position. Chandler doing just enough, but again, anytime you are in a wrestling position, whoever has his head higher is winning, and Chandler has elected 3 times now to put his head underneath Benson.
For that single leg, low single leg, Iranian kind of position in between both legs, and both times it's been risky. Now he's in a tough, he can get crucifixed here.
In MMA grappling, whoever's head is higher is winning the position.
Ben Henderson survived the first round onslaught from Michael Chandler. Can Michael Chandler survive the deep water that Ben Henderson has made a career swimming in?
Biggest question of this fight. Those were the two. Could Henderson handle the explosion of Michael Chandler? Could Chandler handle the late surge of Benson Henderson? We knew it coming in. We really know it now.
Now Chandler's giving Benson Henderson an inverted triangle. Henderson isn't taking. Liam McGeary would have taken it. And here Chandler digging. Look at Chandler's digging. He's so smart. He knows what he needs to do. He knows he's not in great position here, but he's doing enough to protect himself.
Ben Henderson, the heart of a champion to survive round 1. Michael Chandler trying to find the heart of a champion to last 25 more seconds.
Once again, low single leg position. Gotta watch the triangle coming out the back door. Now Henderson trying to circle.
15 seconds. What's Henderson got? There's not a lot of options. Maybe a guillotine attempt.
He's pulling his arms up to knee him. He's out.
Oh, Benson Henderson.
And a fight for legacy becomes an instant classic.
This fight, you called it an instant classic for a reason. The back and forth, Michael Chandler exploding in round 1. Benson Henderson proving that he can take a shot with anyone, not only in this division, I think in the welterweight division, and then coming back, showing grit, heart, guts, technique, making it close through the middle rounds of Michael Chandler. I think controlled it partly on his takedown, top positions like this, where he was able to keep it close. Now look at this escape at the end of round 4, and then round 5, high drama. The only way you could say it, Benson Henderson fighting like his life and career depended on it, and he got out of the round. Man, what a fight. And here was the final escape. Michael Chandler, incredible stuff.
How did you see it, Jimmy?
I only gave Benson Henderson round 5, 10-9. Round 2 was close maybe, but I don't see how you can take it away from Michael Chandler. But I got to tell you, I've seen worse, Chael.
Sure I have too.
High drama for 25 minutes. The suspense ends now.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone 5 full rounds of action in this world title fight, we'll go now to your 3 judges at cage side. Your first judge, Michael Bell, scores the fight 48-46. He scores it for Chandler. Your second judge, Ron McCarthy, scores the fight 48-46. He sees it for Henderson. At cage side, your third and final judge, Derek Cleary, scores the fight 48-47 for the winner by split decision, and still Bellator lightweight world champion, Michael Chandler.
5 years ago, he climbed to the top of the mountain in the fight of the year against Eddie Alvarez. Tonight, he reaches the mountaintop he wanted for himself. He has beaten Ben Henderson and stayed the world champion. Michael Chandler with Jimmy Smith.
I'm talking to a man who's still wearing the lightweight belt, Michael Chandler, but you just told me I'm disappointed in myself. I gotta know why. That was a tremendous fight.
I think it came down to that first round. Dominated. Benson's a heck of a competitor. Hey, man, you can't be perfect in here. You just got to find a way to win. That's what I did. Sorry to everybody who's disappointed. I will get better. I will come back. Don't be mad at me. I just bring it.
Round 1, you talked about not being able to finish. Round 5 was about not getting finished. What was in your head? That 5th round, you were hanging on, man.
You gotta hang on, man. This isn't all about brains. You gotta fight with your balls out here. That's what I had to do. Hey, man, I live to be a champion again tomorrow. Not happy with my performance. You will see the best Michael Chandler next fight. Thank you guys all for coming out. I do gotta say, I do have to say, San Jose, if your boy Josh Thompson steps back into this cage and does not stand across the cage from me, he is an absolute coward. I'd love to run it back with Benson Henderson, put the paint on him next time. Tonight, even though I won, it wasn't my night. I will be back, believe it.
You heard it, Josh Thompson, the champion, Iron Michael Chandler. Give him a hand.
Our tail of the tape for this lightweight fight is brought to you by Dave & Buster's, the only place to eat, drink, play, and watch sports. Chandler, 6 years the elder of Yamauchi.
Yeah, that reach is the big difference. 69-inch for Michael Chandler, 74 for Yamauchi. He is long. Michael's got to get inside.
With the official introductions, once again, Michael C. Williams.
Presented by Miller Lite. And tonight, live on Paramount Network, Bellator MMA now moves to the lightweight division scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. We introduce the blue corner. At 5'10", weighing in 155.9 pounds. As a professional, he brings 22 victories, only 3 defeats, hailing from Curitiba, Brazil, presenting Goiti Yamauchi. And across the cage, his adversary, tonight fighting out of the red corner. At 5'8", weighing in 156 pounds even, the 2-time former Bellator lightweight world champion enters tonight with 16 professional victories, 4 defeats. From Nashville, Tennessee, he fights out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Iron Michael Chandler. And the referee in charge of the action, Blake Grice.
Oh. Here we go. Michael Chandler, Goiti Yamauchi.
One of the things you'll notice about Goiti is he likes to stand up straight and tall, just like Conor McGregor would.
Tonight's Fight Clock brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. The former champion in the red gloves, Goiti Yamauchi, coming out southpaw in the blue gloves.
One of the things Goiti normally does, he comes out with a left leg kick high because he wants his opponent to block it, because he wants to start to take away the power of that right arm that Michael Chandler has.
Michael Chandler said, "We are the best 2 lightweights in Bellator right now. Very likely the winner will fight for the belt." '18th Bellator fight for Iron Mike Chandler. Little karate style utilized by Goiti Yamauchi.
Nice body shot by Chandler, nice kick to the inside. This is what Goiti does, though. He stays on the outside, and he sits there and he becomes the matador, and he gets people frustrated to the point where they do come in and take him down, and then he works his jiu-jitsu game.
Yamauchi says his biggest weapons, his confidence and his heart. He's always looking to take his opponent's back.
Well, there's no doubt that he is a tough guy, but right now, having Michael Chandler on top of you is not a good thing. He's got to be busy in attacking Michael so Michael cannot sit there and start to posture up and punch.
Chandler, by the way, has never been submitted in his professional career, and tonight is professional fight 21.
Watch the back of the head, careful.
Yamauchi, 18 of his 22 career wins have come by submission.
Okay, you look at the position right here. Yamauchi put his right arm in to try to turn his hips, and you saw what Chandler did is he just crushed down on that arm and made it to where it was not going to be effective. Yamauchi gets his arm back out, but Back to center position. Michael Chandler on top of you. He's starting to posture. The elbows are starting to come. Yamauchi cannot let Michael Chandler posture.
26th professional fight for Curitiba, Brazil's Goiti, Yamauchi, and Big John. He has never been stopped.
He hasn't, and he is incredibly tough. You look, right now he's creating problems. This is what we're talking about, getting his hips out, changing the angle. Michael Chandler right now is doing what he's doing by putting pressure, getting himself back to center. That's smart fighting by Michael Chandler.
Good matchup. Great night here on Paramount. Still to come, title fight at Rampage and Chael. Mike Goldberg, Big John McCarthy, Jay Glazer, Josh Thompson, Jen Brown.
Look for Michael Chandler to keep his hands at least up on the chest area of Goiti. You're not going to see him putting his hands down to the ground. He does that. Goiti's going to swing around and take an arm. He's really good at it. Michael knows that. Right now, having the hand underneath is not good. Back to bicep control. Really smooth. Great job of controlling the fight by Michael Chandler.
Michael Chandler, oh, by the way, when he won the lightweight title back in November of 2011, he did so with a rear naked choke of Eddie Alvarez.
You know, you look at Michael Chandler is now working out with Eddie Alvarez's old trainer and Henry Hooft, and it's working for him. He is looking great as far as the condition he's in and what he's doing right now. This game plan, this is a smart game plan. If you're going to be on the ground with Goiti, you want to have him against the fence, have your head high, and just start pounding on him. Start to diminish his abilities to get those submissions.
He talked to us, John, about the sacrifice of being away from his wife and his new son, staying in South Florida, getting to Nashville once in a while. Just bought a new house in Nashville. That'll be where they settle. Well, Michael, as he always does, John, will make the sacrifices to be one of the greatest in the world.
Yeah, right now you see Goiti trying to bring Michael down to where his chest is, his head's in the middle of his chest. There is Michael posturing back, getting his head over the top of Goiti. That's the strong position. When he's postured up, there's going to be no submissions coming from that.
Chandler trying to posture up, as John said.
Watch your toes in the cage.
Yep, Blake Grice all over it. Goiti Yamauchi with the toes in the cage. You can push off, but not lock in.
He can walk. Even if his toes are catching as he's moving, that's okay. It's when he's holding the position is when you're going to hear the referee say something about it.
Yeah, and like I was going to say something about a rule that you didn't already know. So thank you for being here. Tonight's Corner Cam brought to you by Boost Mobile. Get the Michael Chandler, Goiti Yamauchi.
Fight!
Round two.
One of the things Michael Chandler is known for is how fast he fights. And sometimes he gets a little bit tired, but if he's going to fight a controlled fight like he is right now, he can do this all day. Goiti utilizing that nice linear fashion, real long, keeping Michael on the outside. This is what he needs to continue to do.
There are a couple of, I would say, I guess, decent fighters who have a Japanese background and are from Brazil.
Beautiful kick by Goiti. That was a question mark kick.
Right on the chin.
Chandler right on the chin. Unbelievable. Chandler still on his feet.
Right on cue, Big John. When I was going to give a little Machida love, Goiti pushes in. Michael Chandler says, "Bring it."
But this is when Goiti says, I don't work at wrestling. I have guys take me down. This is why they're going to take him down. He's hurting him in the stand-up.
Just missed. Black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yamauchi looking good with a striking here.
Big left hand by Goiti.
Really good.
Michael is still feeling the effects of that kick. That kick hurt him bad. You can tell, and you see how complete change of the way he was fighting before to what he's doing now.
Yamauchi was telling us his family, and he basically, they built a new fighting system, and we said that with Shinjo Machida a few months back. Looking to utilize all the games right here. There's the takedown that Big John we figured would happen.
Yeah, and look at, you cannot blame Michael. And this is, Goiti he's waiting for it. Michael needs to do the same thing. Hip position is super important right now. Keep his hips in line with Goiti's hips. Keep the pressure on him. Bring his head over the top. He does that, there's no submission Goiti's going to get.
Bellator wins for Goiti, 6 by submission, 1 by knockout, 1 by decision.
Be careful.
His Bellator debut back in 2013 was his first fight here in the States.
He's got a beautiful elevator hook to try to reverse the position. Chandler's hips are just too strong, too heavy for him to pull that all the way through.
Midway point of our fight. The former 2-time champion on top. Yamauchi told us this is the most important fight of my career.
He did say that, but he actually thought that Chandler is losing in a bit as a fighter. He doesn't think he's as impressive now as he was in the past. Now he's starting to feel a little bit of what Michael Chandler is like.
If he feels that way or not, probably better to kind of keep that to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Michael Chandler needs any more motivation.
Notice that head position. See how his head is over the top? That's where he can deliver power. That's where he can do things that can end this fight. That is great ground and pound tactics by Michael Chandler.
Good control here, the latter part of this round. Yamauchi, a good body shot earlier.
Yamauchi's got a Kimura grip on Michael's left arm, but in the position that he's at, he's not going to pull that out, and the fence is actually keeping him from being able to extend that out. You see Michael's left leg blocking the ability for him to bring that arm out. Goiti's trying to get that elevator hook with his left leg inside. There he goes, trying to swing around. Michael Chandler now delivering good ground and pound. Look at, that's what you do when a guy is going for a submission. It doesn't work. I'm going to make you pay for that submission.
13 of 16 wins have come by finish for Chandler. Yamauchi looking for his 3rd straight win. Pardon me, 4th straight win inside the Bellator cage.
And now Michael Chandler is bringing this round back into his corner. He got hurt early, that was a big thing, but he's starting to land some really solid, impressive shots here that are starting to diminish Goiti's ability to get that submission from where he's at.
20 seconds. All kinds of cage control here in round 2 for Chandler.
Cage control isn't the thing we're looking for. We're looking to see who's damaging who, and right now, Mike Chandler is starting to put some damage on Goiti Yamaguchi.
Big John, those are big shots right there.
Those are what's bringing that round back.
Take a look at the replay right here, Big John.
Take a look what he does, bring it up, question mark it, brings it back across, lands it flush on Michael Chandler's right side of his face. Jaw, you see Michael stumbling back. That would have put a lot of people down.
Good fight between two of the best at 155. 3rd and final round. 5 minutes remain. Red gloves for Chandler, blue for Yamauchi, and the fans say, who knew that Yamauchi could strike? Yamauchi and his team did.
So did I. You know, he's got that Lyoto Machida, Conor McGregor kind of lengthy, straight up karate style, big, wide stance, but he's effective with it, and he hurts guys and he makes them start to go for those takedowns. Beautiful right hand by Michael Chandler.
It's tough to train and prepare for a guy like Yamauchi, and of course, Lyoto Machida, the best at his style. Hard to replicate.
Iron Mike also landed a big kick to the body there. Yamauchi, look at, he is composed. I love the composure that he has in the fight. He knows what he wants to do. He takes his time. He doesn't force things. You got to be impressed with the way this guy fights.
Chandler definitely the aggressor thus far here in the 3rd and final round. Accidental eye poke.
Hang on. Go neutral, hey, go neutral.
Got a bit of an eye poke from the defensive just to keep him off. this is what can happen when you've got a guy like Mike who needs to come inside. Yamauchi's trying to keep him to the outside, and as he starts to counter what Mike's doing, that hand comes out, fingers poke right in the eye. Doesn't poke him bad, but got to give a guy a chance to get himself back to where he's 100%.
Accidental.
It's an accident, no worries. Come over here for me. Stay right there. You ready? Yeah. Let's go!
The battle continues. Oh, Yamauchi comes right out with a kick. Puts a smile on the face of the former two-time champion.
They're talking to each other now. That was like, oh really? You want to do that fast? Okay.
Is it anybody's fight, John?
You know what? Right now, I believe Yamauchi needs to start to do things to close this out because he hurt Michael in the second round, but then Michael came back and landed big shots to hurt him. So that round went to Chandler. Right now, Yamauchi needs to pull either what he's doing now with big shots or go back to that submission game and do something. He's going to, from here, it's going to be the submission game.
3 minutes on the clock, third and final round. Michael Chandler would rather just forget that freak dead leg injury from Madison Square Garden. What he doesn't want to forget very long, though, is Bellator gold.
Well, Michael Chandler lost his title off of a freak injury.
Yes.
It was freaky, you know, and it can happen to anyone. But that's what happens in sports. And, you know, you got to roll with it and say, okay, you know what, I know what happened. It just wasn't my day because of it, and I'm going to come back and show everyone who the real champ is.
He's done it in the past.
He has.
Trying to posture up with those very brutal elbows once again.
Again, what you're looking for here is look at the body position. Look where the position of Michael Chandler's head is. When it's on Yamauchi's head, Iron Mike is, when it's over his head, he's got all the power and the ability to deliver damage in this. Yamauchi's trying to push him down, which is going to open things up for him.
Chandler, 31 years old. Yamauchi just turned 25 on January 5th. Same birthday as Douglas Lima, by the way, who will defend his belt here on Paramount Network against Rory McDonald.
Again, notice that right arm of Yamauchi's. Look where it's trapped now.
Hey, if you want to stay there,
Michael Chandler is sitting there pinching down on it. He just pulled it free. Big
shot.
Another big elbow.
These are vicious right here. Keep in mind, we mentioned Yamauchi never stopped. All 3 losses by decision. He's in trouble.
He is. He's getting hit with some big shots.
By Chandler
opening up. This is that posture I'm talking about. Big power. This is what a referee's looking for if he's going to stop a fight. A guy posturing and hitting with big power and no one's stopping what's occurring.
More punishment from Iron Mike. Blake Grace right on top of the action.
He's right for letting it go. Yamauchi's doing the right thing to defend. He's getting hit, but he's working in the fight. You gotta let him go.
Big round for Michael Chandler. Brutal ground and pound. Hammer fist.
This is where we talk both arms in, both arms out. We don't want to have that one arm sit breaking in between the legs because then a guy like Goiti can grab it. Boom, here comes the arm bar and we're in trouble.
Yamauchi trying to control posture, but so much damage has been done.
Those are big shots. The positioning of Michael Chandler right now is perfect. This is what we expect out of a ground and pound attack.
10 seconds remain. Chandler with huge hammer fists. But they go the distance. Spectacular performance by Chandler. And man, Yamauchi is game.
He is a tough competitor. Look at what's going on here. Look at the head position of Michael Chandler. This is what ground and pound is about. If you're going to be on the ground with someone, going after him like that. That was a beautiful question mark kick. Yamauchi landed it flush to the side of his face. It almost put Michael down. That's a big right from Chandler. That's what we're looking at when you look at that type of elbow. Those hurt, man. That is bone on bone. It is a powerful elbow that he kept hitting him time and time again with.
to the very end. Ground and pound, Yamauchi survived, but Chandler put on a show.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your 3 judges at cage side. Judges Chris Crea and Marcos Rosales both scored the fight the same, 30-26, while Judge Jackie Dinkins scores the fight 30-25. I'll have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Iron Michael Chandler.
First victory for Michael Chandler as a new father. Great matchup with Yamauchi. Big John with the former 2-time lightweight champion.
Champ. I am here with the winner, Michael Chandler. Congratulations on a beautiful victory against a super dangerous individual. You kept going to the ground with a guy that's submission master. Tell me about that victory.
I didn't want to prove anybody wrong, but I proved them wrong. Everybody said he's the most dangerous guy in the world on the ground, and he is. He's extremely, extremely tough. First off, hats off to Yamauchi. Probably the toughest guy I've ever fought. Most guys would have been finished in there. Proud of him. We'll probably meet again.
Bellator President Scott Coker came out and said the winner of this fight is going to fight Primus for the for the lightweight championship.
Who?
Yeah, well, what do you think about that? Is that who you want?
No, it's not who I want. I want to keep coming in here and do phenomenal things. If that's what Scott wants, that's probably what's going to end up happening. I'm the model employee. I'm a great employee. I do what I'm told. I come here, I show up, because there's going to be a time when I take these gloves off for the last time, and I never want to say I didn't go out there and do amazing things. So thank you guys all for coming out. Thank you for watching the performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, Iron Mike Chandler, your winner.
Main event, tail of the tape.
Take a look at the records here. They're very similar. The one thing is both guys have fought the same guys, but have had different results, and that's the difference between these two.
Round, are you ready? Are you ready? Fight!
Main event time, referee Jason Herzog. 3 5-minute rounds scheduled in the Bellator MMA lightweight division. Chandler in the red gloves, Girtz in the blue gloves, and the southpaw Girtz explodes with a 1-2 combo.
You can see that Girtz has a very wide stance, and if Michael Chandler's smart, he's going to start taking advantage of that right leg sticking out there.
Of course, Chandler enjoyed plenty of success with his grappling coach, Neil Melanson. Melanson is in Girtz's corner tonight. Chandler has up to 5 minutes to recover. He feels he pushes the pace harder than anybody at 155. Referee Herzog letting Brandon Girtz know that he has to keep those shots above the belt line. Action resumes here in round number 1.
A lot of people are going to wonder, why did Jason take a point? Because you got hit the groin, just take a point no matter what. You don't just take points in MMA.
Girtz attacking Chandler.
You do things based upon the effect of that blow, and you could see that it didn't truly affect Michael Chandler in a bad way.
Chandler working with Henry Hoof now, sharpening his striking skills.
Watch your finger, Mike. You okay? Anytime? Anytime? Time.
And now Chandler with a poke to the eye. So Mr. Referee turned broadcaster, Big John McCarthy, when are we going to fix this situation? What can we do to fix it?
You're never going to completely fix it. What you're seeing is a defensive motion by Michael Chandler. Brendan Girtz takes and brings his hand out. Michael Chandler puts his hand down, and the thumb and fingers, because he's defensively trying to keep him at length, go into Brandon Girtz's face and maybe rolls into his eye. But with MMA, we have to have the fingers loose because we have to have grappling, and you're never going to be able to completely eliminate it.
So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar goggles are out of the question.
That's what we want to see, because that'll do wonders for cuts.
Referee bringing in the doctor.
And the reason Jason's bringing him in is Jason's not a doctor, and he looks and says, you know, Brandon says he's fine, but I want to make sure that the doctors look at.
Girtz said he was fine when he had that Air Jordan logo carved into his forehead by Derek Campos, and I know you wanted the fight to continue, but it's up to the doctor.
That's it.
Bellator MMA lightweight champion Brent Primus, knowing what it feels like to be on the sideline. He wants the rematch with Chandler, win or lose. Girtz is a warrior, and he also forecasts a terrific fight. Things are just warming up here in round one.
You know, most of the time with Brandon Girtz, he likes to come forward, but he is settling for looking for counters off of what Michael Chandler's doing. He's sitting back, he's waiting, and then he's trying to explode into him.
Girtz lands a counter right.
This is going to be one of those rocky moments where we have Michael Chandler landing with the right hand while Brandon Girtz lands with the left, and both guys are going to end up going down.
Michael Chandler already being involved in instant classics, the battles with Eddie Alvarez for the Bellator MMA Lightweight Championship. And there's Girtz putting it on Chandler. Chandler now looking for the takedown, blocked by Girtz, and on the exit, Girtz lands a short right uppercut up the middle.
All of that was beautiful motion by Girtz. He lands a beautiful check hook. Michael Chandler gets close, tries to tie him up. He gets back from him, and on the exit, lands a beautiful shot.
Under 2 minutes left in the first round.
I'm very impressed with the way Brandon is fighting. He's fighting in a composed fashion. You can see he's not trying to overextend.
The feint with the right hand and the takedown by Michael Chandler, using the whizzer to keep Girtz on the ground, and now looking for that crucifix as he's neutralized the right arm.
Exactly, and this is where we said we didn't want to see Brandon Girtz, and he tried to scramble his way out of it. You watched what Michael did with that.
He hung that right hand out.
Exactly, and he took the half Nelson to stop what he was doing. Right now, looking for that arm triangle choke. There you go.
And looking for the side choke and catch.
He has it. It's done. I'm telling you right now, he's either going to tap out or go out.
He's out. He's out. He's out.
Michael Chandler has just equaled the Bellator MMA submission record. He now has 6 shared by the man he defeated prior to this fight, Goiti, Yamauchi, and Marcin held. More importantly, Chandler improves to 18-4 as he vanquishes short notice replacement Brandon Girtz in the opening round. Bring on Chandler versus Primus 2.
Look at right here. Beautiful setup into the takedown. Gets his hips into him, brings him down. You see Girtz trying to use that wizard to get himself back. Great positioning by Michael Chandler. And when you see this arm up here, he can bring his head to that side. When his hands came together there, Morrow, Girtz is in trouble. He steps off to that side. He should have blocked that. You can see at this point, he is going to go out. He has no choice.
He's out. He's out. He's out.
Let's make it official with Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the head and arm choke ends it officially 4 minutes into round number 1 for the winner by submission iron, Michael Chandler.
Our tale of the tape for this, our main event of the evening. The unbeaten champion, 1 year older than the former 2-time champion.
He is. You take a look at that reach, 73-inch reach to 69. Those 4 inches can mean a lot to Brent Primus in this fight.
The champion is Brent Primus. The challenger has held the title twice.
You ready to fight?
Michael Chandler. Here we go! A quick kick early from Primus. Red gloves for Primus, blue gloves for Chandler.
We always used to say in fighting, you know what, you need to take that first hit. And right now, I think Brent Primus needs to take that first hit. He looks a little tight, a little anxious, just settle down.
Throwing a lot of his own kicks early. Chandler waiting for his opportunity to explode. Primus, kick after kick. Little slip and rip, but he missed on the return. And he's looking for that kick again.
He is, but you can see what Michael Chandler is doing with his footwork. Watch him as he's bouncing in and out. He's making a very nice, he's set down on that one, but he's making a good little adjustment on those kicks, and that's why you see a lot of Brett's kicks have been missing.
Going towards that lower leg. Primus, 33 years old. Chandler, 32 years old. 23rd professional fight for Chandler, just the 9th for Brent Primus. 90 seconds into the first of a potential 5.
Oh, big left hand.
Big left hand lands, but the right return by Primus. Chandler connected big time.
Both need to settle down, but I tell you what, Michael absolutely hit Brett harder than Brett was able to touch Michael. Brett is still a little bit wobbly.
He's going after the finish early, and he has Primus's attention. Again, Chandler on top.
This is not a bad thing for Brent Primus right now. He is wobbly on his feet. He needs to just settle down, control, bring those legs up high, try to control the posture of Mike Chandler right now.
Michael Chandler, number 2, with 15 career wins inside the Bellator cage. Number 1 is Patricio Pitbull, the 2-time featherweight champion, with 16.
If Brent Primus can control the posture like he's doing right now of Michael Chandler, he's going to get all of that, that energy is going to settle down. That what he got hurt by is going to come back to him, but he just keeps on hooking his toes in that cage, trying to turn and create an angle.
Both men delivered shots early in the round. Chandler looking to do some damage inside the guard of Primus here.
Well, they both landed shots, but it was absolutely Chandler landed the shot that hurt Primus the most. That was the most telling blow, and that is why you're seeing Brent Primus now on his back.
Primus trying to control the posture of Iron Michael Chandler. Primus earned his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt in just 6 years. Began training at age 20, Gracie Baja.
Herb Dean's gonna have to do something about Brent Primus trying to grab with his toes. He can put his foot on that fencing material and push off, but he cannot grab hold of it with his toes to try to turn his position or control Mike Chandler.
Iron Mike trying to break the will of Primus here early.
That's right in front of us, Mike, and you can hear those are heavy shots that Brent Primus is getting dealt by Mike Chandler right now.
Another big elbow from Michael Chandler.
This is saying a lot because look, if Brent is going to be on his back, this is the time, if you want to try to go for a submission, is to start to go for it before Michael Chandler is really sweaty and really wet, because it's going to be hard as the rounds go on.
10th time Chandler's been scheduled for 5. Second time Primus has been scheduled for 5. The first one lasted 2:22.
Yeah, he's never been there, and that is a big disadvantage. You never know for sure what it's like until you do it.
If it gets that far.
True.
Those toes. Those are 5.
Big start for the former champion. Final seconds of round number 1.
Goldie, here's that right hand that misses, but watch the left hand. Big right on the chin, puts Primus down, and then we had that exchange, and it was not a punch by Primus. It was almost a clash of heads that actually put Primus down and Chandler down.
Round 2. Michael Chandler, Big John obviously got round 1 on your scorecard.
No doubt about it, dominated that round, almost closing in on a 10-8.
Brent Primus, his brother, a veteran, Brandon, served in the Marines. He's here tonight, his stepdad in the Army. Chandler trying to get back what he believes has always been his.
I love the fact that Primus, he's throwing a lot of things out, but it's the speed difference that you're seeing between Michael Chandler and Brent Primus. That is what is creating the problem now for Primus. He is having a hard time dealing with the speed of Michael Chandler.
Primus has not fought a ton, but he's never lost either. Good body shot, clean.
You can see that he's doing damage to that leg, though. He keeps on going after that kick, and you can see that Michael Chandler's left leg is starting to get a little bit pink, a little bit red.
And you know what? It doesn't have to go out. Oh, he got caught.
He did.
He got caught with a left hand shot.
He's on his
Primus on top. Primus just rocked Chandler.
Primus needs to settle down, relax in this position. Don't go crazy. Just take your time and work for that submission.
Trying to lock it in. Can he get it here? Brent Primus
does not have it right now. Mike Chandler better get rid of that arm or he's in trouble.
And he does, at least for now. We've got ourselves a fight.
We have seen Michael Chandler in this position with Eddie Alvarez before, and that's exactly what he does.
That was a big shot landed by Primus. But now he has a big problem like he had in round number 1, and that is Chandler in top position.
And you can see that Michael Chandler's trying to hide his head right now, trying to gain some time, get his breath back, because look at, although that choke didn't work, it absolutely was tight and was putting pressure on him.
And he got rocked.
He did.
Michael Chandler has never been submitted in his professional career. Big, heavy punches from Chandler from the top, able to posture up. And now the closed guard again to Primus.
Good job of Primus to get him back to guard because he actually had passed into half guard. Primus brings him back.
Primus said in the first fight he gave Chandler way too much respect.
Well, Primus is going to have a problem. If he cannot control the posture of Michael Chandler, he cannot stay on the ground with a guy throwing the shots with the power that Michael Chandler is bringing.
And as we've seen over the years, Chandler doesn't need a lot of space to do a ton of damage.
No, he is showing that he has a very solid ground game, big ground and pound. And when he brings his shots in, he brings power.
Go, fight. Michael Chandler,
keep fighting.
4 career losses. 2 of them were split decision losses. A 4th round TKO and that 1st round loss to Brent Primus 538 days ago. Just over a minute on the clock here in round number 2.
Got a small cut on Chandler, and I believe it was a clash of heads as he was coming down. Brent was bringing his head up, and there was a clash of heads that caused that cut.
Chandler looking to become a 3-time Bellator lightweight world champion. Good ground and pound again here in round 2. There's some bruising on the forehead of Primus from all this heavy ground and pound from Chandler.
Primus now holding on. He's controlling the posture, but this is not going to do any good for him. He has got to open up that guard and attack him.
Chandler teeing off. Primus did a good job blocking that flurry. But another round Iron Mike.
Right.
Round 3. Both men have landed big shots. Chandler in round 1, Primus in round 2.
Both men have put each other on their butts in this fight. This has turned into a great battle between these two.
Big swing and a miss. And partner, I was starting to say when Primus connected with Chandler that he doesn't have to, you know, deactivate the leg like he did in that first fight. He can Benson Henderson if he wants to and continue to just take that leg away systematically.
Absolutely, and you know, keep going after it. I honestly believe, I think Michael Chandler would be better off being in closer range to Brent Primus and not allowing Primus to have that length on him. There's all kinds of ranges in fighting. We've got our kicking range, we've got our punching range. I would want him to come inside of that and utilize that range inside, that he could do damage to Brent Primus and not have that long, that jab that Brent Primus is using. Good right hand by Chandler, but he keeps going back to the well too many times trying to land that big right hand.
Able to get back on top. A lot of training partners and coaches from Hawaii here cheering for Brent Primus tonight. Born in Eugene, Oregon. Trains at Performance Martial Arts in Eugene. His home gym since he was a white belt.
You see Primus trying to bring that leg over on top of Chandler's arm. You're going to see Chandler stand up and pull it out. There you go. This is where it becomes very difficult for the submissions to start to take place because of the sweat. There's nothing to hold on to at times, and the guy has to make a mistake for you to be able to latch onto that. And when that happens, it's a moment of time for you to catch onto it.
And oh, by the way, not that Primus can't finish this fight in the 3rd, 4th, or potentially 5th round, but all 6 of his career finishes came in round number 1. We're well past that weight. And that point now, and we're just past the midway point of this championship fight. And we've seen a lot of this, Big John.
It's going to be interesting to see what Herb Dean does. He keeps on pulling his foot off of that cage, and he's telling him, don't put your toes in the cage. But Primus keeps going back to it.
Michael Chandler said, if I believe it was a fluke, if it was fact or fiction, the first time, it doesn't matter. He said, I did train for this fight like Brent Primus was the #1 lightweight in the world.
Well, he better have, because right now, Brent Primus is the #1 light heavyweight in this cage. And he has got to prove that, you know what, no, I am, and that's what he's trying to do right now.
Under 90 seconds on the clock here in round number 3.
Take a look at the hematoma that you can see on Brent Primus's forehead.
Right, I referenced that earlier. Yeah, it's getting worse.
It's getting worse. It's opening. It is starting to. What's happened is you get a vein inside. It's obvious on the outside of the skull, and it gets crushed, and it starts pumping blood, and that blood will continue to pump until that pressure in that skin equalizes what his blood pressure is.
Wow, Dr. McCarthy.
Nice movement by Brent Primus, trying to go for the leg. Good attack, but Michael Chandler, he is a guy that understands all of these positions. His jiu-jitsu is strong, his wrestling is strong, and he's got incredible base. And when you have a guy that's got great base, man, he's hard to move off of you.
Yeah, Primus was up, out, if you will, for about 4 seconds before Chandler transitioned once again.
Well, the real question is, we're going to be going into the 4th round. This is a round that Michael Chandler has been to many times. Brent Primus is not. What is he thinking?
Michael Chandler has gone the full 5 rounds 3 times. We are set for round number 4, championship round number 1. Control Michael Chandler's ability to put him on his back, because it's happened in all 3 rounds.
Well, I do think that his coaches were giving him good advice. And, hey, man, I need you to go back after hitting that leg. That front leg is out there. I need you to do something.
Primus came out quickly. Chandler was ready. Championship rounds. 4th round for the first time in the career of Brent Primus. See the bruising on the lead leg on the outside, lower leg of Michael Chandler. He seems to be moving very well still. Lead left hooks.
Chandler leaves his hands down low when he extends out with that right hand. He needs to be very careful.
Another takedown. Of course, Michael Chandler, teammates with 2-time Olympian, 2000 silver medalist, former Bellator welterweight champion Ben Askren, and UFC welterweight champion, Strikeforce star Tyron Woodley at the University of Missouri. His wrestling credentials, obviously outstanding, Division I All-American.
There's no doubt that Michael Chandler is a great wrestler, a great fighter. But I'll tell you what, something was fed to those guys in Missouri during that time, man. Between Askren, Woodley, Chandler, they got a group. What you're seeing, you're seeing Michael Chandler try to turn his hip to get past that foot. Brent Primus is a great jiu-jitsu practitioner, great black belt, understands how to control the guard. But the biggest problem he has is he cannot get Michael Chandler off of him.
Michael Chandler named his adopted son Hap Whitaker, named after the old Missouri wrestling coach Hap Whitney. Michael won the Hap Whitney Award twice during his days at Mizzou. Three minutes on the clock, round 4.
You know, Chandler's being busy right here, and that's why Herb Dean is allowing this to continue. He's not just sitting in guard, going body, head. He is trying to move position. He's trying to pass guard. He's not being successful, but is he trying? Is he trying to progress that position? Let's work. That's why now you see Herb Dean says, let's work, and you see Michael Chandler going back to trying to pass the guard, although he's not successful in doing it.
Past the midway point of round 4.
Posturing up here, keeping his head down on Primus. This is a good technique. But with that position of him posturing up, that opens things up for Primus, but he's got to open that guard to attack.
Neutralizing doesn't score you points.
It does nothing for you. Being on the bottom right now for Primus, especially doing what he's doing by body triangling here, putting the triangle over the body in guard, only tells the judge you're trying to be defensive. You're trying to hold on to him. You're not trying to do any kind of submission. That's not going to get you anywhere.
And you pointed out that Chandler's staying busy enough that Herb Dean's letting him fight here in this position on the ground.
And if you're looking at the way you could score this fight, you could maybe possibly give Primus that second round. But the first and the third, and now the fourth, is going to Chandler. So if you're thinking about possibly getting a decision from these judges, it's slipping away quickly.
Michael Chandler has gone the full 5 rounds 3 times. He is 1-2 in those fights. Both losses by split decision to Eddie Alvarez and Will Brooks. The win was a split decision victory over Benson Henderson. Right now, we're not looking towards a split. If this pattern continues for another almost 6 minutes.
Well, one of the things that we've always talked about with Chandler is he does come out and he fights fast and he runs himself at 100 miles an hour and sometimes burns himself out. That's where Benson Henderson almost got him, near the end of that fight. In this type of fight, with what he's doing with Primus, Michael Chandler can do this for a long, long time. He's going to come out in the 5th round and he's still going to have a lot of energy and be very strong. Good job of coming up if he gets that second. That goes right out. But a good attempt by Brent Primus to try to make something happen.
15 seconds. Primus trying to do some type of damage from his back.
I think Brent Primus's corner is, told him, hey man, you're behind, you gotta go for it here. Why leave it in the cage, man? Do everything you can to take him out in this round.
Fifth and final round. The champion in the red gloves, the former champion on Big John's scorecard, has won every single round. He is in the blue gloves. Primus, first and foremost, needs to stay on his feet.
That was a nice body shot followed by another one. Back to the takedown, and that's that difference in that wrestling level. Chael talked about Brent Primus being a good wrestler, and he is, but he's not of the level of Michael Chandler.
Eight fights in 8 years. 14 fights, including his amateur career, in 13 years. Primus on the verge of being defeated for the first time as a professional. He was 13-1 as an amateur. But anything can happen in these final 3 minutes and 50 seconds, partner.
Primus trying to work towards that omoplata here. He's got his leg in position, but Michael is stopping his hips with the arm that he's being attacked with. Primus is gonna have to decide, do I want to stay with this or do I want to try to create a scramble and get out? Because right now, he does not have it. You guys need to work out. See Chandler pulling out of that omoplata, right back into guard. This is what I'm talking about. You see Primus, he's sitting up. He's trying to create things. He's just getting stymied by Michael Chandler understanding the position and putting him back onto his back.
Under 3 minutes. Michael Chandler looking to pull even with Patricio Pitbull with his 16th career win inside the Bellator cage. He would become the 3-time lightweight champion. Past the midway point of our 5th and final round. Wrestling 101, ground and pound 201.
Again, Primus looking for that omoplata, trying to set something up. It's just not there for him. Brent Primus has shown, man, he's a tough guy. He has taken a lot of big shots on the ground, and he is still trying to move his hips and still trying to create openings to try to get something on Michael Chandler.
Under 2 minutes now. Something spectacular needs to happen for Primus now. It has happened before, but I won't go into too many details. He's my buddy here tonight. He knows.
It has happened, but look at, you got to give it to Brent Primus. He has come out here, he has tried to defend his belt. Michael Chandler has just been a little too fast, a little too strong, a little bit too explosive in putting him on his back, and Brent was not able to do the things that he thought he could do off of his back against Chandler.
But what we've learned tonight, and what I think the world wasn't certain of because of these long lapses of inactivity for Brent Primus, is that he is a high-level, real-deal fighter.
Oh, there's no doubt. Brent Primus is the real deal. This man can fight. He is tough. He is durable. I mean, you look at the shots he's taking. He's dangerous. He's still, look at what he's doing right here, trying to push Michael Chandler off, trying to get himself back to his feet. This is proof that Brent Primus is the real deal.
Michael Chandler, just the superior fighter. 538 days since fight number 1. 10 seconds remain.
Almost looks like Primus is going for a go-go plata there. Good attempt. Oh,
big knee. Final seconds of the fight. And they go the distance.
Look at that nice body shot, but also a kick from Brent Primus, but that's the left hand at the beginning of the fight. They put Primus down. We had a little exchange here. This is the story of the fight. Michael Chandler being able to control where the fight was gonna be played out. That's the shot that Primus landed in. Almost had a situation where he had a great choke in place, but Michael Chandler was able to tough his way out of it, turn the position, end up landing big shots against Brent Primus in that position, and then through the rest of the fight, that wrestling ability is what took it to this championship match. He was able to put him on his back. He was able to control exactly where the fight was fought and how it was fought, and that's why I think Michael Chandler is going to be the Bellator lightweight champion. Again.
The decision is in. Here is Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance in tonight's world title fight, we go to your 3 judges at cage side. All 3 judges, Michael Bell, Eric Colon, Ron McCarthy, all see it exactly the same, 50-45 for the winner by unanimous decision. And now the new and 3-time Bellator lightweight world champion, Iron Michael Chandler.
Our tail of the tape for this, our co-main event of the evening. 2-inch reach advantage for Sidney Outlaw, who is the younger of the 2 fighters. Of course, as John said, Michael Chandler has held the lightweight belt not once, not twice, but 3 times. Once again, here is the voice, Michael C. Williams.
From Tokyo, Japan, Bellator MMA Now presents tonight's co-main event, 3 5-minute rounds at a contracted 160 pounds. And now live on Paramount Network, we introduce first the blue corner. At 5'9", weighing in 160.9 pounds, his professional record, 14 wins, 3 losses, fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, by way of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA, presenting Sidney Outlaw. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 5'8", weighing in 160.7 pounds, the 3-time former Bellator lightweight world champion brings a professional record with 19 victories, 5 defeats. By way of Nashville, Tennessee, he fights out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, USA, presenting Iron Michael Chandler. And the referee in charge of the action, Brian Miner.
Gentlemen, what are the rules in the back? Fight hard, fight clean. You want to touch gloves, do it now? Good luck to you both.
Brian Miner, our referee. Sidney Outlaw. Michael Chandler. Co-main event of the evening. Saitama Super Arena.
You ready? You ready?
Here we go. Chandler in the red gloves, Outlaw in the blue gloves. Their home gyms separated by about, what, John? 8 to 10 miles, maybe?
Yeah, about 10 miles. This is, right now, what you're seeing, this is going to be a back and forth as far as pressure. Nice shot by Michael Chandler. Big body shots. If Sidney Outlaw is not moving forward, he is not as good in the stand-up. He is a move-forward type of fighter, but so is Michael. And so it's a question of who's going to be able to be the guy that establishes that I'm the guy that's going to press in this fight.
Michael really working the body early.
Body shots pay off, man.
Oh, yeah.
You're just putting dollars in the bank for later on in the fight.
Like the old video game. Knock him out, knock him out. Michael Sr., Mom Betty, wife Bree.
That was a
all in
beautiful right
attendance
hand
tonight.
to the body. Beautiful right hand. Straight, low, solid.
Pulled the leg out. Sidney Outlaw, 9-fight win streak. Very impressive in his return to the Bellator cage. It had been 5.5 years between Bellator fights for Outlaw, and he was able to defeat Roger Huerta by unanimous decision.
Michael Chandler just keeps on going right back to that body shot, that straight right hand to the solar plexus of Sidney Outlaw. Sidney's taking it well, but you can only take so many of those before it starts to have an effect on your performance.
Michael Chandler very relaxed, really taking it all in this week. Not really looking back, no rear view mirror to what happened a few months ago, well, back in May, John, outside of downtown Chicago in that lightweight title fight against Patricio Pitbull. He said, hey, you can't, he said at my age, you can't control what happens in fights. He finally learned that. Sometimes it's going to go your way, sometimes it's not.
Well, you definitely cannot control everything. That was a nice uppercut by Sidney Outlaw, landed on Chandler right there. One of the things that we talk about all the time is it's a fight, yes, but it's competition. And sometimes you're going to lose in competition. And it's the way you handle those losses that are going to define who you are and what you are and where your career is going to go. And the one thing that you have got to say, Michael Chandler handled that loss to a guy in Patricio Pitbull that they didn't get along. He handled it with class. He said, you know what, good, shot. That's a big shot right there.
It is all over, just like that. Michael Chandler by knockout. Wow! He was sharp throughout the fight, and his finish as good as any, as we have seen in his career. And he has had a few vicious knockouts, to say the least. Couple more looks at it. Hands were clean. The finish was there. And a job well done by Iron Michael Chandler. The Marines keeping us safe every single day. Official decision, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, it comes to an end officially. 2 minutes, 59 seconds into round number 1. The winner by knockout, Iron Michael Chandler.
Knockout for Chandler.
I'm here with your winner, Michael Chandler. Michael, that was an outstanding performance. You were going to the body with the right hand. That started to drop his hands down, and then you hit him in that exact spot that you've been hit before, and you talk about it. You just lose sight of things. It turns you off. Talk to me about that win.
とにかく素晴らしい勝利でしたよね。勝者マイケル・チャンドラー選手に皆さんも拍手をお願いします。右非常に重い強いパンチ、そしてしっかりと試合をコントロールした素晴らしい試合でした。
Yeah, this was just setting things up for the second half of the fight. With a guy like Sidney Outlaw, big body, strong wrestler, got to start taking the wins out of the sails pretty quickly. But first of all, my hat's off to him, man. If it wasn't for Sidney Outlaw stepping up after there was an injury a couple weeks ago, I wouldn't have had a dream come true to come fight in front of the Tokyo crowd. So thank you guys so much. Arigato.
対戦相手も非常に強い選手ということで、このアウトロー選手に対する対策を練ってきました。やっぱりスピード感をしっかりと持って、しっかりと試合をコントロールしたまま決めるというの重要だと思いました。そして、自分たちこうやって格闘技をしていると、それぞれ怪我があったり、いろんなことがあったりする、そうした中で今日はここに立てたということ、日本に来られたということ、本当に嬉しく思います。
been a 3-time champion here at Bellator. You have fought against the very best that they have. What is it that you want to do to take your career forward here in Bellator?
さて、マイケル・チャンドラー選手と言いますとですね、3度ベラトールのライト級王者に輝いている、元王者です。ここからこの後のキャリアどんな風に作っていきますか？
You know, the older I get and the longer I've been in this sport, I'm just excited to keep fighting against myself. If I can step in here every single time and become the best Michael Chandler I possibly can be, then I've done my job. There's obviously some big fights here. I'm still hungry for belts. I'm still hungry for world titles. 3 world titles isn't enough. My wife deserves it. My son deserves it. So I'm excited about the future.
とにかく長く戦い続けるということ、戦いの場に立ち続けるということが一番大事だと思うんですね。そしてその一つ一つの戦いに自分の持っているものを全てぶつけていくと、その連続だと思います。過去に3度ベラトールのライト級王者になりましたけれども、全然足りません。もっともっとタイトルを狙っていきますので、皆さん応援お願いします。そして家族もチームも応援してくれたことにこの場をお借りして感謝したいと思います。
Tokyo, arigatou gozaimasu. I also want to say a special happy birthday and congratulations to Dr. Bree Chandler. I love you so much. Daddy's coming home, baby.
これまで自分を支援してくれた人たちにとっても特別な日なので、今日この場をお借りして感謝の言葉としたいと思います。皆さんありがとうございます。
Japan, give it up for Michael Iron Chandler.
20 career wins for Chandler, 28 for Henderson, who is 2 years the elder.
You can see that Michael Chandler may have a little bit less in height, but he's got a 4-inch reach advantage. We'll see if that plays any part in this fight.
The wait is over. Here's Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bellator MMA live on Paramount Network from Mohegan Sun Arena. The time has come for tonight's main event. The rematch is set for 3 5-minute rounds in the lightweight division. Sanctioned by Mohegan Tribe, Department of Athletic Regulation Chairman James Gessner, Chief of the Mohegan Tribe Lynn Malerba, supervising at Caneside Director Mike Mazzulli. And now, first introducing the blue corner. At 5'9", weighing in 155.6 pounds, a former 2-time lightweight world champion, he stands with 28 professional victories, 8 defeats. Fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona, presenting smooth Benson Henderson. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner at 5'8", weighing in 155.9 pounds, the 3-time former Bellator lightweight world champion enters with 20 professional victories, 5 defeats. By way of Nashville, Tennessee, he fights out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Iron Michael Chandler. And the referee in charge of the action, Dan Mergliata.
Center, gentlemen. All right, gentlemen, been through the rules in the locker room. Want to obey my commands at all times. Want you to protect yourselves at all times. If you want to touch gloves, you can do it now. Good luck to both of you. Back to your corners.
Michael Chandler, Benson Henderson.
I'm excited. Yeah, a little bit. I'm excited.
Benson loves everybody except maybe Michael Chandler. So what are you going to do? Get in the fist fight again.
You ready? Let's go, gentlemen.
Here we go. Main event of the evening. Fight Clock brought to you by Geico, the southpaw. Henderson is in the blue gloves. The former 3-time lightweight champion, Michael Chandler, in the red gloves. Kick landing early from Henderson. Answered by Chandler.
Go to the kitchen. Or the attic.
Benson's got to dictate the pace. He's got to make sure that Chandler doesn't set the pace and the tempo right off the bat.
He has landed 2 very good kicks to the body. You know, you get hit with a kick to the body, it takes you back a step, and it makes it to where you start to consider getting close again.
Well, the biggest reason why I want Benson to throw those kicks to the body is that keeps Michael Chandler's right hand loyal to his ribs.
And in that first fight, the shots that stunned Michael the most were some of the knees to the midsection that Benson was able to land.
One of the things Benson talked about was the fact that he thinks that Michael Chandler runs out of gas, that he gets tired. Well, right now, what he's doing with all of these body shots is sitting there poking a hole into that gas tank. You hit him with a lot of body shots, that gas tank's gonna get empty fast.
Chandler's reaching a lot with that right hand. He's getting heavy on that right hand. He's putting himself out of position quite a bit.
Good combination. 1-2.
Ben talked a lot too in the first fight after he went back and watched it, how the jab was so effective and how he said he planned on using it a lot more in this fight. He's doing everything he said he was going to do, John.
Absolutely, he is looking exactly what we said he needed to do. He's trying to make that happen right now. He's going to the body. Nice little left counter by Chandler.
What Chandler did very well there was he switched his stance, and when he came back, he threw the other hand. Nice job.
No slow start tonight for either fighter.
Fast starts have never been a problem for Michael Chandler. He always comes out at 100 miles an hour. That was a nice shot.
Oh, he's down. And it's all over! Just like that! Michael Chandler finishes Benson Henderson! The first man to finish Benson Henderson in nearly 6 years! Let's go!
That shot right there, beautiful left hand, right on the button. There's no one there. Watch the left hand. Right hand sets it up, left hand right on the chin. Benson goes down, and you see Mike land one more right here. Actually didn't even land it. It was just the reaction of Benson hitting the ground. Watch what happens. That left hand is everything.
This shot here looks like it grazes at the top of the head. But we talked about this with Matt Mitrione. Matt Mitrione was fighting another left-hander, and that's what happened here. Chandler switched to left hand, and then the shot came right down the middle. Not something Benson's used to dealing with.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, it comes to an end. 2 minutes, 9 seconds into round number 1. The winner by knockout iron, Michael Chandler.
Michael Chandler, very honest coming in, not expecting to finish Benson Henderson, but he does just that. And Iron Michael Chandler will visit with Big John.
I'm here with your winner, Michael Chandler. That was an unbelievable sequence, and you utilized a left hand. You actually went to southpaw. You never go to southpaw. You went to southpaw, you hit him with the left hand, hurt him, and finished it with the right hand. Talk about it.
Listen, man, when you train at Sanford Mixed Martial Arts with the best coaches in the entire world, the best training partners in the entire world, you can do anything in here. It's something we kind of worked on a little bit, maybe throw him off his game a little bit. Benson is a champion, man. I'd be lying to you if I wasn't scared to death inside this cage, stepping in the cage with that monster. He knows how to win. He's a champion in and outside of the cage. Yeah, just trying to evolve, trying to be a better me.
You normally come out, we say, at 100 miles per hour. You're always fast. And Benson came out very fast and was very effective in landing body kicks and body shots with his punches. How was that affecting you?
It's true, man. Ribs hurt right now. Foot hurts, leg hurts. Benson Henderson, as I said, people, you know, he doesn't have a ton of finishes. But man, he comes and he throws hard. He's got some big legs, big feet, and I just, man, I'm just happy to be here. Happy to be standing here in front of you, and I visualize this. Bree and Hap, Daddy, I can't wait to be home. I just can't wait to be home. It's been 12 weeks, so I'm excited to go home.
I understand that you want to go see the family, but right now, being that you are in this position in the lightweights, who is it that you're looking at? What do you want to do with the rest of your career right now?
Listen, man, it's all in God's hands. God has always opened up doors at the right time. He's closed doors at the right time. Whatever happens next, all I know is if this is the last time that I step into this Bellator cage, everybody around this cage, from the front of the house to the back of the house, to everybody on the microphones, to everybody checking us in, everybody taking care of us, you guys have no idea the impact that you've made on my life. I am not who I am without the organization of Bellator and the heartbeats and the people that I love so much that I've been able to share this experience with for the last 10 years. So We'll see what happens. Every single lightweight on the entire planet, you're on the clock, you're on notice. Scott Coker, you're on the clock. Let's get something done.
Sounds good to me. And ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, Mike Chandler, on a big win. Back to you, Goldie.